Hello everyone and welcome back to Fate Hollow Ataraxia. We're heading into the eclipse. You won't be able to continue where you last left off, that is fine. Let's head on in, where many scenes await us, some of which are red, you may notice. We'll get to those in a bit. We're going to start off with the scene with Himuro here. Oh. Himuro the love detective, huh? As the saying goes, love will consume you. If you are going to fall in love regardless, fall in love so deeply that it hurts. Love is not realized through ordinary hardships, romantic and melancholic. I might even feel admiration for it. That, for me, Himuro Kane, is a faraway tale. I am a flesh and blood human, therefore I long for love. However, I cannot help but to shake my head in frustration at the notion of binding myself to a love so strong that it is painful. Although that is not to say I have no interest in it, rather I have an unusual level of interest in other people's romances. Who is dating who is broken up? I listen carefully to those topics around me without outwardly displaying interest. I jot them down into the notebook within my mind. I then go verify them alone in order to satisfy myself. However, my name alone is never written amongst those incidents. Why do I display so much interest in love? Someday, I'll tell you the reason. Will I ever be capable of love? That is a tale of tomorrow that no one can foretell. As the saying goes, there are no teachers in love. That's true, they're too busy with their jobs, heyo. However, I digress. Let us return to the topic at hand. My friend, Saigusa Yukika, is laying siege to her classmate Tosaka Rin. A lunchbox for two people in her hands. No doubt it was made for this purpose.
ごめんなさい、三枝さん。ご一緒したいのだけれど、残念ながら今日は先約があるの。もしまた声をかけていただけるなら、喜んで同席させてもらうわ。はい、頑張ります。それとですね、よかったらこれもらっていただけないですか?
She holds out the wrapped lunchbox. Miss Tosaka receives it with a smile.
お気持ちだけで十分ありがたいけど、せっかくだから三枝さんのお弁当頂戴します。後でこちらはお返しします。はい。あ、粗末なもので遠坂さんの口には合わないかも。
My other friend Makidera wears a dubious expression beside her. Perhaps she is amazed at Yukika's useless efforts, as she suffers honorable defeat for the umpteenth time. Or perhaps she is dissatisfied by Miss Tosaka's slightly hypocritical attitude.
そんなこと。せっかくいただけるのだし、喜んでごちそうになります。よかった。じゃあ、今度遠坂さんの好みを教えてもらえれば、頑張って作ってみるから。牧野寺、遠坂城の好物を知っているのか？
好き嫌いはなかった気するな。でもこの前シントのタリアッテレに行った時はタバスコ使いすぎって気はした。
She likes it spicy.
辛党か。
Nice. We whisper amongst each other. There is no need to feel guilty if Miss Tosaka discovers us talking like this, but it is not a subject to speak about out loud either.
お嬢様なら甘党の方が似合いそうだけどね。
そうとも限らないだろう。
Really? Wow, that was a short line for that.
ああ、帰ってきた。
Miss Tosaka leaves the classroom and Yukika returns to us. She took 2 steps forward and 1 step back. I suppose that is the best description of what happened. However, her expression is soft and a smile hangs on her face.
うっしいな、ユキッチ。もうあと一押しすればいいんだよ。お前のための弁当なんだから食いやがれって言えば、遠坂だって先約なんかほっぽってずるって。
でも、遠坂さんの邪魔になったら悪いもの。いや、ユキカ、君はあとわずかに横暴な性質でも問題ない。まあ、とはいえ、相手はあの遠坂城だ。一朝一夕にどうにかなる相手でもない。弁当箱が帰ってからまた話を進めればいい。
Is this implying what I think I'm implying? There's a little schoolgirl crush going on. Though she was a little depressed just now, Yukika still smiles. Yukika is too kind. I always feel like I want to watch over her from behind.
なんだよ名参謀。あんたも持久戦術採用の口かよ。
私は君の参謀ではなく、ましてや君は我々の指揮官でもないマキ。さて、図らずも3人で昼食になったわけだな。
On the other hand, this is how Makidera is. Usually, for someone like her, gets on my nerves, but after knowing her for 3 years, I've already gotten used to her. Rather, the way she acts courteously in a long-sleeved kimono at her traditional house makes me so uncomfortable that I cannot bear it. It's true that it suits her, but I still cannot help but think Makidera has to be like this.
ちぇ。遠坂が弁当もらわなかったら、ゆきっち弁当のご商売に預かれたのに。
もしやそれを見込んでの早弁か。
Makidera's laid-out lunchbox is only half full. She must have eaten half before lunchtime. That is the only explanation. She may be part of the track and field club. But isn't this still a bit of a problem for a female high school student?
ちょっとお裾分けしてあげる、マキちゃん。
お、サンキュー。ありがたやありがたや。いつもすまないね、ゆきっち。後で江戸前屋でお返ししてやるからな。
This is the scene of a peaceful lunch. I begin eating my own sandwich, lettuce and tomato. The flavor of the whole grain mustard is strong. While eating her lunch, which was supplemented by some of Yukika's, Makidera whispers.
しかしなあ、遠坂のやつも付き合い悪くなったもんだな。
A casual comment. Yukika and I look up from our lunches.
そうなの、マキちゃん。
まあな。昔はちょくちょく遠坂と買い物行ったんだけどな。最近は向こうも何かと用事が多いから、さっきのゆきっちみたいなことは結構ある。
あ、そうなんだ。私、遠坂さんに避けられたわけじゃなかったんだ。
Thank goodness, says Yukika while nodding. I feel like asking just what kind of a rude and arrogant person could purposely keep their distance from such a kind-hearted girl like this.
もしかして遠坂さん。
Makidera and I turn towards Yukika. Having deliberately become the focus of attention, Yukika's voice drops to a whisper.
もしかしてもしかしてなんだけど、誰かとお付き合い始めたんじゃないのかなって。
ああ、知らなかったのか、ユキカ。
Okay, I'm so bad for saying oh. You didn't know? It's one of my favorite phrases because I know it riles up people.
遠坂城はすでに付き合ってるぞ。3C のエミヤシロだ。
Wow. I thought everyone knew about this already, or is it just me? Obviously Makidera knows this as well, or rather, she cannot ignore this matter simply because she is Makidera.
エミヤくん？
そう、エミヤシロ。信じらんねえ。エミヤだぞエミヤ。生徒会長のオプション装備だ。偽公務員とか分連の修繕担当とか弓道部の掃除機とかホムラハラのブラウニーとか言われるエミヤだぞ。
Okay, I like the use of the word brownie here. That's strong. Yeah, he kind of is.
ひどいあだ名ばっかり集めてきたものだな、牧野寺。ちなみにブラウニーというのはだな、ユキカ。アイルランドの妖精で。
Oh, I thought it was shorthand for brown noser. It is, right? Yeah, I've heard about those before.
誰もそんなこと説明しろと言ってね。
I thought it was a nice reference to a brown noser because both of them work. She's snapping at me, but usually when people hear the term brownie, what they think is
あ、
yeah.
妖精なんだ。ブラウニーって言うから、エミヤくんチョコチップケーキみたいなのかなって。
Well, hey, you know what? There's a reason that Tosaka likes him, you know? She likes her brownies, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? A little bit of... The joke is marijuana-infused brownies.
家に住む妖精で、家主のいない間に家事や雑務をしてくれるという。
That's what he do.
なるほど。エミヤの生態をうまく言い表している。そして牧野寺の方が一見チョコケーキのようではあるな。
だからそのエミヤなんだぞ。 味悪い。なんかさ、他にいい男いっぱいいるじゃん。つうか、あの鉄の女にはイメージ合わねえっての。
Makidera starts acting quite strange as she flies into a fury. Ever since this became publicly known around April, she's become beside herself with rage whenever this is mentioned. She herself says that it is because her reputation has been adversely affected as one of the few friends of the school idol, the unattainable prize Tosaka Rin.
まあ落ち着け。君がそこで少林寺木人権を決めても覆りはしない。
やだね。いい加減我慢の限界だね、あたしゃ。ヒムロ、あんたこそなんでそんなに冷静なんだ。
すでに露見しているし、今は目立った動きがないからだな。
はあ、そうなんだ。遠坂さんとエミヤくんか。お似合いかな。
I don't personally think as much, but some people do. Oh god. So every single time you see Shiro in sprite form, it looks off. Doesn't look right. I don't like it. Just let's keep it first person for him. No matter how you look at them, I think they are as similar as night and day. Quite literally, nice and bright and sunny with the Shiro hair, and dark and moody with the hair of a Rin there. Though I won't go as far as to say that it is like dipping a peony blossom in horse dung. Dang! Since Emiya is going out with none other than Miss Tosaka, it cannot be helped that people would make such an evaluation. What? Okay, hi! Makidera rages about beside me for a while, but she'll get tired and quiet down before long, like a dang dog. I will say, Emiya's an interesting character, because, like, he's such a non-protagonist in the school. And I don't mean that as in the story he is, absolutely. But I mean, in the school, that dude is literally a background character. And it's really interesting that, like, especially through this game, you really get to see people are like, Emiya, that guy? I think I hear he does some work for the student council. I hear about him occasionally. It's so interesting. I like it. In the meantime, Yukika and I nibble on our lunches. The people around us watch the usual case of Makidera's eccentricities in a lukewarm manner. Exhausted, Makidera sinks down in her chair.
まったく、もったいないにも程がある。趣味悪いぜ、遠坂も。そういや、三つ釣りのやつも変なんだよな、あれから。
In Mitsuzuri, as in Mitsuzuri Ayako, the former archery club president, I'm curious about what Makinoji means by weird.
三つ釣りさん？
ユキッチは知らないかも。ヒムロ、あんたはどうだ？
あいにくと何も。一時期は噂が立ったが、あれは根も葉もない流言だったようだ。遠坂と並ぶ優等生の三つ釣り綾子に、めったな不貧困なぞあろうはずもない。
What could they be talking about? This occurred around February when Mitsuzuri Ayako was sent into protective custody and hospitalized in Shinto. At that time, many spiteful rumors circulated saying that she regularly visited dodgy places or that she was involved in drug abuse. However, afterwards...
そうだったよね。あの時、事故があって、学校も大変だったから。
It's nice to see a little bit about the, gas leak incident. Yukika mutters bitterly. But around the same time as that, the chemical incident happened at Homerhara Academy, and quite a few students lost consciousness and had to be hospitalized. The rumors about Mitsuzuri Ayako immediately vanished in the wake of that great incident. That incident was also very peculiar because some parts of the story did not match up, but that is a topic for another time.
あん時は確かにしんどかったね。いろいろと。後輩の見舞いとか部活の一時停止とかあったからな。
Looks like I brought up a bad memory. Brushing away the breadcrumbs on my hands, I bow my head towards the two of them.
すまない。団らんの場にふさわしくない話題を口にしてしまったようだ。
いや、ヒムロは悪くないって。で、三つ釣りなんだけどさ。
Promptly pulling herself together, Makidera returns to eating her lunch.
どうもおかしいんだよな、あれ。 やっぱり三つ誰かと付き合ってるんじゃないのかね。あくまでも勘だけどさ。
I'm surprised. My eyebrow lifts unintentionally. What a unique sprite. I remain exceedingly calm on the outside, but inside my curiosity raises its ugly head. Mitsuzure Ayako is dating someone. That is a rumor that cannot be ignored, after all.
そうだね。みんなも3年だから、やっぱりお付き合いとかしたくなるのかな。
そういうもんでもないと思うぞ。1年だから2年だからとか。ヒムロ、なんか三つのこと知らない？
いや、初耳だ。
In any case, there is no information on the likes of Mitsuzure Ayako's male relations in my intelligence network. It had to be completely concealed from my eyes, and the fact that Makidera noticed something I did not irritates me. Yet, without realizing it, the corners of my mouth twist into a smile.
しかしあの三つ釣り城がか。それはキンキンの話なのか？
いや、もっと前。4月くらいからかな。あの頃の三つ釣りは確かに変だったぞ。覚えてないか？
It's harsh to ask me to recall what happened to Mitsuzure Ayako so long ago, even when I was not particularly concerned with her back then. Especially, rather. So Makidera grasped something back then with her animal instincts and checked it out at some point. Is that what happened? No, my observation and discipline were also insufficient.
慌ててたよね。あの頃の三つ釣りさん。
ゆきっちに座布団1枚進呈。えらい。さあ、リードされました。どうしますか、ヒムロさん？
どうもしない。で、相手は誰か知っているのか？
Naturally, I'm curious about just who this other person could be. But contrary to my high expectations, Makidera merely showed me an idiotic expression.
ではない。牧野寺、三釣綾子がお付き合いを始めた以上は、誰が付き合っているのかを確認するのが筋だというものだろう。
うどんって、なんか人をうどんのパチモノみたいに言うな。
Should I call her careless then? A careless person. It's truly a phrase that exists for the purpose of describing Makidera. No, right now the commentary of Makidera Kaede, who possesses animal instincts despite her fishy and careless nature and excels at charging straight into things, is not needed. What's needed is...
筋だろうが骨だろうが、そんなもん知るわけないだろう。三つ釣りって言ったらあいつ、さばけてるようで、これが遠坂や氷室並みにガード硬いんだから。
それは私と遠坂城が同格という評価か。しかし。
Who is Mitsuzure Ayako's boyfriend? I want to know who it is. My heart is racing so fast that I cannot relax at all. However, I'm not the kind of person who acts rashly because of that kind of prodding.
三つ釣りさんの彼氏か。
その様子だとかなり気になってるね、ヒムロ。
The stupid Black Panther who only lives according to her instincts. Closing my lunchbox, I nod reluctantly.
ああ、気になる。
そうか。じゃあ、どこのドイツが三つ釣りの彼氏だか突き止めないか？
The Black Panther bares its fang, singular, and grins. That might be saying too much. But mysteriously, I feel hopeful at Makidera's fearless smile. If our present interests are in alignment, perhaps we can unite her mobility and my discernment. All that remains is...
その、マキちゃん、それダメだよ。
ダメなもんか、ユキッチ。そもそもホムラハラに名の響いた優等生の三つ釣り綾子が彼氏をひた隠しなんて許されてなるものか。我々は日本国憲法で知る権利を保障されているんだぞ。
いや、憲法にはその権利の記載はない。さらにプライベートに干渉している。
She says as she's totally gonna look into it.
ユキカがそっとしておいてほしいというのなら、さたやみにするが。
You liar. If Makidera and I are joined by Yukika's virtuous sensibilities, then we cannot interfere half-heartedly. Yukika was fidgeting uneasily for a while like a prairie dog lost in its den, but then...
ちょっと私も三辻さんの彼氏見てみたいかなって。
I see your kitty face.
そうか、じゃあ決定だ。
首を洗って待っていろよ、三辻彩子。お主の秘密を晴天白日に暴き出してくれるわ。天網開会祖にしてもらさずった。
Don't scream that out loud.
珍しい。巻きの字にしては慣用句が正解だ。
うるさい。
At that moment, the school bell rings. For now, I suppose I'll have to be satisfied that the three of us have come to an agreement.
いっけね、話に夢中で食い終わってなかった。
そういうところは期待を裏切らず実に君らしいな。
出た。昼の話なんだが。
After 6th period ends, the three of us gather together again. It's noisy around us as people come and go on their way home, or to club activities or prep school. We keep down our voices as we talk in the midst of the after-school commotion.
三辻城のことか。
そう。誰が彼氏だと思う？
Naturally, we refrain from talking about this in loud voices, ignoring the fact that she screamed about it during lunch. I stand up and propose that we talk while walking to the track and field club. Makidera answers with a Roger and Yukika nods.
ユキッチの方が先に気づいてたよな。心当たり何かある？
With nothing to lose by trying, Makidera asks Yukika. Yukika tilts her head in thought for a while, but then becomes dejected, so nothing after all.
三辻さんのお付き合いなんてちょっと思いつかないな。
そうだよな。そうなるとだな。うん。ヒムロ君、君の氷の脳細胞に期待するわけだな。
So she just asks me frankly when she doesn't know the answer herself, huh? And she says icy brain cells like I'm sharp. But doesn't it sound like I'm more asleep instead?
難しいな。三辻城の知気旧式から蓋然性によって判断するしかあるまい。
知気旧式？蓋然性？カネさ、もうちょっとシンプルに生きようぜ。
Oh wow, you are actually stupid.
つまり三辻さんの知り合いにそれっぽい人がいないかなって見当をつけてくってことだよね、カネちゃん。
I'm grateful for Yukika's quick understanding.
そうかそうか。で、誰あたりに？
そうだな。うん。
A male that is connected to Mitsuzure Ayako and has a possibility of ending up in a romantic relationship with her. I can probably eliminate any underclassmen in the third years that graduated back in April can also be put aside. In that case, there is someone, just one guy with the potential to end up in a relationship with her. The third-year playboy at Homurahara that frequently shows up in my notebook.
マトだ。
嘘だろ。
Makidera's first words were those of shock. Yukika was apparently so stunned she couldn't even speak. It should not have been such a strange answer to them, though.
何を驚く？
だってあのシンジのことだよな。2年の妹さんのマトサクラじゃなくて。
マト君か。
I love these reactions to him. It was quite impressive to see Yukika show such great disdain on her face. I understand why she wore such an expression. After all, Mato Shinji was a very notorious person some time ago.
いや、いくらなんでもそれはないんじゃないのか、ヒムロ。
三辻城は弓道部部長、マト真司は副部長。二人の関わりは極めて深い。それに2年の頃のマトは確かに鼻持ちならない輩であったが、昨今は随分まともになっていると聞く。
Every time they say that, it's like I still don't care. You're still trash. I'd only heard about it though, and I didn't feel inclined to check if it was actually true. I cannot forget the humiliation I suffered in the past when he told me, "You're so stuffy and your father's an important official in this town, so it's impossible for you to play with me, Himuro-san." Yeah, apparently Himuro's dad is, I think, the mayor. Someone was telling me about that. Wild. just a small detail, just a small one.
それだけで三辻とシンジがあの二人弓道部でもいろいろ衝突してたって噂あったぞ。
I cannot think of two people more incompatible.
それに注目すべきは2月のことだ。マトも確か三辻城と同じ病院に入院していたはずだ。2人は退院するまでかなり時間がかかったから、その病院で何らかの接触を持った可能性も否定できまい。
I feel that I may be forcing the facts together a bit too much, but I've decided to continue with this hypothesis until the end.
同病愛哀れむではないが、お互い入院生活で親近感を抱き、もともとの関係ゆえもあって恋愛関係に発展した。ありえないシナリオではない。それにマト真司の変化が三辻城にもあるのだとすれば、それはそれで説得力を感じないか？
Mitsuzure Ayako would surely restrain Mato Shinji's behavior even more if she were with him. Supposing that Mato Shinji's bad reputation as someone with a very rampant and irresponsible nature has lessened to a certain extent, it could be conjectured that it is due to a certain someone admonishing him.
おお、なるほど。そう考えればありえない話じゃないな。
三辻さんがマト君と。
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm smashing that doubt button. Yukika still doesn't seem convinced yet, but that is understandable. Makidera seemed to believe it for a moment, but then frowns.
でもな、マトを信じっつったら本命は遠坂とばっかり思ってたけど。
He was obsessed with someone else there for a bit, but we don't talk about that anymore. I will never, ever forgive Shinji.
何を言うか、牧野島承知のあの遠坂城だぞ。マト真司程度ではどうにもなるものではあるまい。それに同じ時期にかのエミヤが遠坂城と付き合い始めたと知って心境の変化ゆえに対象を変えたのかもしれない。
Could Makidera suddenly have gotten facial neuralgia? Facial neuralgia? What is neuralgia? Okay, Google. Neuralgia is a stabbing, burning, severe pain due to irritated or damaged nerving. What is that? Chronic pain? No. Okay, my Google is going off because I accidentally said the cursed words together. This is a problem. Why are these in my room? It's still going. You probably can't hear it. When the names Emiya and Tosaka are mentioned, the area around her cheeks stiffen. As someone who likes to act aloof and superior with Miss Tosaka, she can possibly considers Emiya her arch-nemesis. Mitsuzure Ayako and Mato Shinji, huh? Indeed, these two...
絵にならんな、このカップルは。
Nope.
出たよ、氷室の審美眼が。そういうところはうるさいな、相変わらず。
でもやっぱりそういうのは大事だと思う。
Even if Makidera doesn't understand, it's fine as long as Yukika does. After clearing my throat, I continue the conversation.
さて、これが三辻的カップル説の概要だ。問題はこの可能性からどのように確証を得るのであるかだが。
三辻捕まえて聞くとか。
やってみるかね、牧野氏。
I respond coldly to Makidera's overly direct approach. Although I didn't say those words to try and pick a fight, Makidera lets out a grandiose "ge" to show how much she doesn't want to.
冗談だろそれ。あの武芸達者の水釣りにんなこと聞いてみろ。ギッタンギッタンにされるのがオチだ。そうだ、ユキッチなら水釣りでも噛みつかないか。
Cute little blinks. Yukika would probably be a better choice to do this instead of Makidera. However, it would be unfair to suddenly make her do such a thing.
本人に尋ねてわかるものでもあるまい。欲しいのは傍証であり確証だ。こと恋愛に関しては当事者の意見が一番信用できない一面もある。
ヒムロ様は無情なことをおっしゃるようで。じゃあ三辻本人もなし、シンジもなし。そうなると、いいのが一人いたぞ。
Someone who has already been mentioned in conversation passing? Makidera puffs up her chest with pride, well, as much as she can. Yuka and I stop walking and listen to her suggestion. After checking left and right, Makidera calmly says the name of the person she has in mind. See, I was going the opposite direction. I was going to go with Sakura, but okay, no, never mind.
1年の三つさんの弟さん？
おお、いいところに目をつけたな。なるほど。現弓道部であるし、何より三剣城の実の弟だ。
Since he's a member of Mitsuzuri Ayako's family, his testimony is the best to use as a reference. Should he be inclined, we might be able to find out from him who the boyfriend is once and for all. After all, his position as a family member who lives together with Miss Mitsuzuri is different from us fellow classmates at home or Hara. Right, Makidera says triumphantly. However, Yuka tilted her head in thought, and then eventually shook her head.
ダメだと思う。
どうしてさ、ユキッチ。
Makidera is confused at the sign of doubt expressed by someone unexpected. I also did not think Yukika would deny Mitsuzuri's little brother as a possible clue.
ユキカ、その心は。
ほら、弟ってお姉ちゃんがどんな相手と付き合ってるのか知らないんじゃないのかな。
That
う
is
ちの
fair.
弟たちも私のことはまるで気にしないし。
It's true, because, like, I mean, my sister has friends, and I don't know, like, any of them. If she was dating someone, I wouldn't know. Apparently, she had Minecraft boyfriends. Those words feel terrible coming out of my mouth.
ああ、そうだったね。いや、納得。
Makidera pouted due to having poked a sore spot for Yukika. Yukika certainly did have 4 younger brothers. Her words on the matter should be therefore placed in high regard.
言われてみればな。噂によると、相当つっけんどんらしいし、弟くん。
ただでさえ姉と弟の関係がそうであるのに、ましてや弟さんのその性格が絡めば難航が予想されるな。厄介。
We stopped walking. Allowing the investigation to suddenly come to a halt here would also mean defeat. Someone else. Someone even closer to Mato Shinji than Mitsuzuri Ayako. Actually, isn't there an unexpectedly ideal person for this?
確かにいた。
Mm-hmm.
そうだな。彼女なら確実だろう。
I wonder if it's going to come up, though. She hasn't lived with him for a while.
お話って何ですか？牧寺先輩。
Okay, this music, though, makes it feel like something's gonna happen. Mato Sakura, Mato Shinji's younger sister. It was quite simple. We couldn't ask Mitsuzuri Ayako's younger brother, so we merely changed our target to Mato Shinji's younger sister. Certainly, a younger brother might not have any interest in his big sister's love affair, but there was no way a younger sister wouldn't be interested in her big brother's activities in that regard.
ごめんな。あまり大したことじゃないんだけどね。
はい。部活関係のことでしょうか。
Technically? She's the current captain of the archery club. Her predecessor was Mitsuzuri Ayako. As someone involved, she's in an ideal position to give testimony. The gentle face and beautiful Miss Mato looks uncomfortable for some reason. That's only natural. She, a second year, has been called out by herself to the back of the woods by 3 third years. There's no way she would stay calm and composed.
このような場所に呼び出して申し訳ない。一つ、マトーさんに尋ねたいことがあって時間を取らせてもらった。
はい。
答えづらいことであれば、無理に答えていただかなくてもいい。
Saying that just makes more and more question marks appear above Mato Sakura's head. Makidera has the corners of her mouth turned down, and Yukika obviously can't settle down. I push up the temple of my glasses with my finger, take a deep breath.
貴女の兄、マトー真司のことで一つ尋ねたいことがある。
In an instant, the sound of leaves falling and piling up on the ground of the forest comes to a stop. That was how much her mood completely changed at the mention of Mato Shinji's name. Oh god. A tense atmosphere that hesitates to even stir. She, I, and even Yukika forget to breathe and sink into silence.
兄さんがどうかしたのですか？
See, now that we've seen the way that Sakura punishes them at the house, this is great because it's just like this feeling of she's the one that whipped him into shape, obviously. Her demeanor had suddenly changed. She gave off a feeling of clear trepidation and suspicion. I could tell that Makidera was starting to edge back. Yukiko was merely shocked by the change in Miss Mato. Unlike myself, I spoke frantically.
些細なことだ。いや、むしろ下世話で老劣でくだらないことだ。なので、そんなに構えないでくれると助かるのだが。
Miss Mato was really not letting her guard down. Have I failed? No, it was completely unexpected for her to harbor such deep suspicion over matters involving Mato Shinji. So what the heck is going on between this brother and sister? Therein must lie things that are difficult to understand. Something must have happened. An uncomfortable-looking Makidera tugs on my sleeve.
やめた方がいいんじゃないの、氷室。
ここまで来てそうもいくまい。やめてもよいが、魔頭城に疑心暗鬼になられたままというのも居心地が悪い。私たち二人はそれでも構わないが、ユキカが不憫だ。
It's an awkward conversation. I shake my head slightly and ask the stone-faced Miss Mato.
貴女の兄君、マト真司は三辻綾子と男女交際の関係にあるのか？
Miss Mato widened her eyes and was literally at a loss for words.
もう一回おっしゃっていただけますか？氷室先輩。
いや、だからマト真司と三辻綾子、すなわち君の兄君と君の先輩の元部長が今付き合っているのかどうかと。
なんでそうなるんですか？
When you say it like that, I agree. Mato Shinji and Mitsuzure Ayako are in a romantic relationship. When I say it again like that, this pairing is too unreasonable. It was something I understood deep down, but...
あのね、マトさん、
ここにおわす氷室先輩殿がな。どうも三辻元部長と付き合っているのは君の兄貴ではないかと当たりをつけたわけで、それを君なら知ってるんじゃないかなと。
まるで私に全て責任があるような口調ではないか、牧寺先輩殿。全くないとは言わないが、三辻城の男性関係に興味があるのはそもそも牧の字ではないか。
よくわからないんですけど。
Miss Mato is flustered. Since the usual conversation has started between me and Makidera, it is only natural that she would be confused when she was not aware of the prior details.
その様子からすると、よほど意外と。
はい。兄さんが三辻先輩とお付き合いしていることはありえないと思います。やっぱりそうなんだ、マトさん。よかった。
Yukika's relieved. Finally throwing off her reserve, she makes a gentle expression.
外れたな、氷室。座布団1枚没収だ。
持っていけるものなら座布団でも何でも持っていくがよい。ただ曖昧な可能性よりも明確に否定される方が調査には有用だ。
Makidera seems more disappointed than I am and grumbles beside me. I don't really understand how floor cushions act as a standard. Could it be that the hierarchy is decided by cushions at her home? Perhaps there are such feudalistic customs at old dry goods wholesale stores. Dang! I swallow back a sigh. Though she had acted firmly until now, a dark cloud now hangs over Miss Mato as she opens her mouth to speak.
そもそも昔から兄さんは三辻先輩に苦手意識を持ってるんです。三辻先輩は兄さんをどう思っているのか存じませんが、それに兄さん部活ではちょっと。
いや、部外の人間に言いづらいことがあるのなら言わなくていい。 我々はただ三釣城の交際相手に興味があるだけに過ぎない。
I emphasized that and tried to undo Mato Sakura's wariness against us. At this rate, we will tread into seemingly serious issues between the Mato siblings instead of the matter of Mitsuzuri Ayako. Makidera calls out hey to the still pensive Miss Mato.
なんだ、シンジのことは別だ。もし何かあったら、こっちも相談に乗るよ。あいつもね、もうちょっと相手を選んでれば、そう迷惑なやつでもないんだけど。
マキにそう言われると尋常ではなさそうに聞こえるな。彼の問題は。
Makidera retorts with a shut up while Miss Mato watches with an apologetic smile. I feel that we had asked something inexcusable in more ways than one, but I have to establish this clearly.
さて、時間を借りてすまなかった、マトウさん。
いえ、お気になさらずに、氷室先輩。
最後に一つ。マトウさん、貴女は三釣綾子の交際相手に心当たりはないか？
Miss Mato's gaze swam above us. Did she have an idea, or was she hiding something she knew? Eventually she nodded. Although we were in the middle of the woods in autumn, she gave a smile like a blooming bud in spring.
竜道先輩なんか、三釣先輩の素敵なお相手ですね。
Wait, to be continued? Oh my god, it's like a TV show. Like a 40-minute TV show. This is long. This is longer than I thought.
なあ、どうするよ、ヒムロ。
どうするというと、やはりあのことか、牧野氏。
It fell upon us to solve this new enigma. Perhaps enigma would be an overstatement, but when this Mitsuzuri Mato theory was tragically disproven, it gave birth to an entirely new possibility. Huddled together before homeroom, the three of us convened to discuss this new development. Our topic was...
竜道くんと三釣さんか。お似合いのカップルだよね。
絵になる。この上もなく絵になる。何しろあの竜道一世だ。絵面という意味ではこれに勝る素材はありえない。
Yukika sighed with what seemed to me like adoration. Ryu and Issei, the student council president who still holds the title of best-looking male even into his senior year. That guy? That guy? Okay. Can't say I agree, but... He's an honor student as well, and said to possess some degree of martial skill despite his appearance. An honest-to-goodness Renaissance man, whose talents shine in sharp contrast to that of the spoiled Mato Shinji. The relationship between him and Mitsuzuri Ayako... But Makidera didn't appear to accept this at all. She made her disapproval clear to Yukika and me.
絵になるって、絵になれば何でもいいのかよ。
重要ではないか。絵になれば世にある大方の物事は許されて叱るべきなのだ。
でもね、マキちゃん。竜道くんと三釣さんのお付き合い、素敵だなって思わない？
Hey, reminder, don't ship real people. It's weird. Don't do it. Yukika seemed quite happy with the idea after she heard it from Mato Sakura. An understandable reaction. They really would be the kind of beautiful couple one might paint a portrait of. A decorated hakama and a right shiramuku would present a stunning contrast side by side, or even a sharp tuxedo alongside a snow-white wedding dress. My inner artist immediately begins composing idealized images of the two. No criticism could be made of this match, if it were up to me, that is.
いやまあ、確かにそれは認めるけどさ。だけど、あの竜道一世が三釣と交際するなんて目がありえるか？私はないと思うけど。
I can't really either, because I don't feel like Issei likes women.
マキちゃん、なんでかな？
なんでも何も、竜道会長は運動部嫌いで文化部びいきだっただろ。
確かにな。昨年度は予算絡みで大いに紛糾した記憶はある。
その竜道一世がだぞ。 有力部活の弓道部部長三つに惚れるなんてありえるか？
Yukiko seems disappointed, as she realized this as well. Makidera had a point, there was some logic to it, but she wasn't seeing the whole picture.
何も竜道一世が一個人である前に生徒会長であるわけでもなかろう。マキ、君が陸上部の牧寺楓であることが個人牧寺楓であることに優先するわけでもないよ。
いやあの会長様ならそれもありえなくもないって。何しろ未だに語り草になってる堅物だし。
確かにそれもある。だがそうなれば。
The three of us pull up our chairs, huddling even closer. In that case, this entire hypothesis would be invalid.
ロミオとジュリエットだ。
Oh my god.
なんだそれは。
竜道くんと三つさんがお互いに敵同士でも本当は好きなのってことかな。
Correct, she's quicker on the uptake than Makidera.
つまりだ牧野氏。竜道一世は立場として運動部と対立せざるを得ない。そうなれば逆に数少ない女性部長である三つ城は彼の意識するところになる。なればこそ逆に敵であるからこそ男女の意識が生まれ恋が生まれる余地があろうかと。
Do you think love can bloom on the battlefield?
さらには敵対する立場というのは時に悲恋に染まりロマンチックに燃え上がる可能性もある。
Heh, Moose to Makidera, impressed. I wanted to smirk and comment that I totally made it sound like an opera, but
なるほどね。三つも竜道も道ならぬ恋にこそ思えってわけか。
さよう。またこの説を取れば今まで三つ城と竜道一世との交際が露見しなかったことの説明にもなる。このようなことをあの寺の子が言い出せるわけがない。
お寺の子？誰？カネちゃん。
死刑、竜道一世のことだ。
in my excitement I called Ryu Issei by a popular nickname. I appear to have gotten through to the two of them to a point, but while Yukiko was positively in love with the idea, Makidera seemed to have a hard time accepting it. That may be, however...
竜道か。あいつ、遠坂と仲悪かったよな。
He's kind of on bad terms with most women, but that's fine.
仲が悪いというか、急的だな。遠坂城と竜道会長の対峙は目下継続中だ。
なるほど。いいね、それ。
What's going on in that mind of hers? Makidera's face suddenly brightens as if her prior skepticism had been a lie.
わかった。竜道と三つをくっつけよ
う。発言の意図が不明確だぞ、牧野氏。我々は別に三つ城と竜道の仲人になるわけではない。ただ交際の
いいんだ、ヒムロ。重要なのはそこじゃない。そうか、三つめ。竜道とくっつけば、私にでかい顔もできまい。
That's a demon laugh. Makidera was giggling with bizarre delight. It made me want to wave my hand in front of her to check her sanity.
どうしよう、カネちゃん。マキちゃんの様子が変だよ。
大丈夫だ、ユキカ。どこまで行っても牧野氏だからな。
じゃんじゃんじゃん。かっこいいな、カネ。さすがは我が孔明よ。
Oh. Now, I don't think she actually said that. But, nice reference. Her voice echoed throughout the room like a gong. I couldn't tell if she was actually praising me or just getting carried away. I rubbed my temples to stave off my headache. It felt like we had gone completely off track.
カネちゃんが孔明だったら、私は何かな?
Never mind, if this is still going, I wonder if it is.
ユキッチを三国志の武将に例えるのは難しいな。ロシクとか。いや、そうじゃなく、また例によって証人探すんだろ。
I nodded silently, No sense adding fuel to the fire. Being who she was, there was no dissuading Makidera from trying to prove her own theory about the sun in the temple and Miss Mitsuzuri. I wonder where her brimming enthusiasm comes from.
さて、誰に尋ねるべきかな。竜道には確か兄弟があったはずだが。
Oh god, his older brother would laugh them out of the temple.
竜道寺のお兄さんだよね。お坊さんやってるの見たことある。
To ask a holy man about his little brother's love life would be over the line. Even more so than Mitsuzuri's little brother.
あいつは血管の中から新規臭くできてるんだな。
というか、細胞、遺伝子レベルだな。さて、どうしたものか。こうなると、竜道の人付き合いの悪さが呪わしい。
What if they ask Emiya? What if they ask Shiro? That'd be weird seeing it from this perspective. I frowned, thinking, Ryu Issei is known for his very limited circle of acquaintances. They say that, contrary to his social status, Ryu is quite shy. And looks like they are also starting to say the same thing about me, which is troubling, but I'll ignore that for the time being.
だよな。生徒会長様の友人となると指折り数えるほどしか。
やはり彼しかない。
Oh my god, are we for real? There's indeed someone close to Rito who we can ask, but...
誰かな、カネちゃん。
Oh my god, are we doing it?
これは困ったな。遠坂城の化粧の相手ではないか。
Oh, this will be weird. I kind of want to see this.
ああ、そっか。
But he's apparently ripped under there. If you narrow it down to people familiar with both Mitsuzuri Ayako and Ryu Issei, the only one that remains is that oddball, Emiya. Indeed, he is a former member of the archery club, and is one of Ryudo's few close friends. But at the same time, he is Miss Tosaka's lover. Would it really be okay to rashly approach him? Makidera groans with an expression as though she just had drunken muddy water disguised as coffee.
エミヤめ、私に恨みでもあるのか。ことごとく前に立ちふさがってきやがって。
向こうはその気は全くないと思うな。仕方あるまい。この際は牧の魂胆は腹の中にしまっておくがよい。大事の前の生じというではないか。
エミヤ君。そっか、そうだよね。あ、でも遠坂さんとお付き合いしてるのなら三辻さんのことよく知ってるかもしれないな。
そういうことだ。牧野氏、おとなしく諦めろ。
You're gonna break your teeth if you keep doing that. Oh boy, are we gonna get third person talking to Shiro?
すまぬ、エミヤはおらんか。
誰かと思えば氷室女子ではござらぬか。お越しいただき誠に恐悦至極。して当組のエミヤに何のご用が。
戦議したき胸がある。
A tone tinged with an era long past. Is this Goto?
おお、戦議とは尋常ではない様子。取り物でござるかな。あのエミヤシロ、当組では虫も殺さぬ痩せ浪人を装っておるが、やはりただものではなかったか。いやまあ、椅子ごと一回転した時から尋常じゃねえって言えば尋常じゃねえべさが。
What do you mean he spun around his
氷
chair?
室女子は火付盗賊改めゆえに密偵の最中でござるかね。
いや、さほどのことではないのだが、隠し事をしているわけでもなし、後ろめたいこともない。
そうですか。んじゃ率直に進言するとですな、エミヤなら屋上でござるよ。
Why are you speaking this way?
オンに切る。そういうわけだ。屋上に行こう。
The two behind me are dumbfounded. I admit there was a few problems with the flavor of our discussion, but there's no reason to be so astonished.
どうしたマキ。そのまま呆れていると昼休みが終わるぞ。
今の会話何だったんだ。
すごいカネちゃん。実手とか似合いそう。
Is that really supposed to be praised? Rather, I think that Goto's acting skills should be praised more.
ま、どうでもいいや。とにかくエミヤをとっとととっちめて吐かせる。
朝方に話した事柄を君が半分も覚えているのか怪しいものだな。
え、三つと竜道をくっつけるんだろ。
She's really
その
wanting
ために
this.
エミヤを説得する。
How does she get away with twisting her interpretation that far to suit her desires? Over the course of the 4 classes this morning, our conversation earlier had completely fermented and changed inside Makidera.
違うよマキちゃん。その三つさんと竜道くんがお付き合いしてるかどうかエミヤくんに話を聞きに行くって。
そうだった？まあどっちでもいい。とにかくエミヤをギャフンと言わせる。ギャフンとな。
You're so stupid. You are actually so stupid. We head towards the roof. If we don't finish this quickly, all of our lunchtime will be used up. But on the way, I whisper to Makidera.
なぜそこまで三つと竜道の交際成立にこだわる？
え？こだわってるのはヒムロの方じゃないのか？
Yeah, but I don't let people know.
私は好奇心に過ぎないが、マキのそれはどうにも。
はあ、別に私こだわってないじゃん。
Makidera always gets worked up over Mitsuzuri, recognizing her as her greatest rival. That's why she's using this as a chance to bring down Mitsuzuri. Is that really all?
誰か屋上にいる。マキちゃん。
そりゃエミヤがいるだろう。お。
Perhaps due to being deep in thought, I ended up falling behind the other two. Makidera and Yukika stand in front of the door to the rooftop. I feel an extraordinary tension emanating from their backs, and carried by the wind is...
じゃないのよ。
だから。
Emiya Shiro's not the only one speaking. There's someone else with a very familiar voice.
遠坂城か？
どうしたのかな。二人とも様子が変。
Oh my god, are they gonna come to the conclusion that Shiro's whipped? Also, Shiro gets sprites changes? Oh my god. We watch covertly from our hiding place, but we cannot hear them very well. Their voices are dispersed by the strong wind. Well, since the person we have business with is Emiya Shiro, we should just come out and call for him, but...
遠坂、それはだろ？そんなの。
ふーん。だっていうの？
did not look like a peaceful conversation. Makidera gulped, and Yukika is obviously nervous. The atmosphere between them was so dangerous that even I could do nothing but watch while concealed within the doorway's shadow. Emiya Shiro is clearly bewildered, but is also biting back with some kind of unpleasantness. Meanwhile, Miss Tosaka is displaying a level of emotion I have never seen from her before. Even I am not brazen enough to step out into this kind of situation.
どうするんだよヒムロ。あの二人なんか変だぞ。
見ればわかる。口論しているようだが。
Oh my god.
え、エミヤと遠坂が喧嘩？わお。
Like the little wow. How could Makidera put on such a happy face after hearing that? I feel I'll have to reconsider her mental state one of these days.
違う。だから俺は。
わかったわよ。シローには綾子もセイバーもサクラもいるものね。好きにすればいいじゃない。
Oh no. Wait, what's the Ayako in this situation for? We heard Miss Tosaka's last words clearly. Those provocative words were just as though she was striking him with divorce papers. The recipient, Emiya, just stands there disheartened. And then Tosaka turns around and heads this way.
見つかった？
違う。どの道出口はここだけだからな。
って本当に見つかっちゃうよ。
Miss Tosaka walks this way with a long, swirling stride. This is bad if Miss Tosaka sees us doing something so shameful.
逃げるぞヒムロ。
承知。
Makidera and I run away like scared rabbits. I'm not saying this to boast, but I'm confident in my short sprints. Makidera is an ace at mid-distance running. Slipping away from Miss Tosaka is easy for us. However, there's one person among us who cannot demand that kind of speed from. A helpless scream cries out behind our backs. There's a chance of toppling down the stairs if we run too fast, but we do have the spare time to exchange a glance between the two of us.
頼むマキ。
了解どうだすごいじゃないかヒムロ
Just whipped her down.
何がだ。確かにユキカを抱いてその走りは大したものだ。
じゃなくてエミヤと遠坂の喧嘩だよ
She has become quite ecstatic. Oh my god, this is going to go in such a better direction than I think it was to begin with. Arriving in the classroom, I have to catch my breath more than expected. Whoa, after images.
あれ、目がクラクラする。
少しシェイクっちゃったなすまないユキッチ
Makidera's breathing is perfectly calm, even as she lets Yukika down. However, contrary to the way she appears, her chest is pounding with excitement. Even though there were fewer people than usual in the classroom at lunchtime today, they are all staring at us. I arrive at my desk and sit down, but...
しまった。エミヤに竜道の話を聞き損ねた。
Oh, but we heard something much more scandalous.
言われてみればそうだったなまあでもそんなことどうでもいいじゃないか
Sitting down opposite me, Makidera starts unpacking her lunchbox. I'm impressed that she did not eat it before lunchtime today, but...
どうでもよくはない。竜道一世と三辻綾子の交際に関して。
そんなの大したことないその二人がくっついててもくっついてなくてももう満体今重要なのはあれだろ遠坂とエミヤの喧嘩だろ
Makidera lowers her voice as she whispers this breaking news. It's true that we have witnessed an unimaginable scene. However, our original goal was Mitsuzuri Ayako. After remaining indecisive for a short while, Yukika sits down next to us with her lunch. Contrary to Makidera's excitement, Yukika is quite depressed.
遠坂さん、相当怒ってたよね。
まあ僕年人のエミヤだからないつかは遠坂とうまくいかなくなるって踏んでたんだよいいねこりゃ
Makidera scarfs down her food. Perhaps because the spectacle earlier pleased her that much, she smiles as if she had just won at life. This is troublesome.
でもね、マキちゃん、やっぱり喧嘩してるのは良くないと思うな。
しかしあの二人には私たちから手助けも助言もしがたいだろう。遠坂城が。
Speak of the devil, Miss Tosaka enters the classroom. I hold my breath and watch, wondering whether or not she noticed us running away from the scene. Makidera ducks her head down and tries to hide. Yukika tries to call out to Miss Tosaka, but cannot. Miss Tosaka goes to her seat and opens her lunchbox. I guess she must not have finished her lunch. Makes sense, she did leave the rooftop like that after all. She glances over, but does not seem interested in us. The aura emanating from her naturally takes hold over the classroom. It is difficult to speak loudly now, even more so for us after witnessing the spectacle.
怒ってるなあいつ激烈に
エミヤは一体何をしてくれたものだか。さて、我々も昼食にしよう。
困っちゃったな。どうしよう、私。
There isn't much talking. It was an unfulfilling lunch. Only Makidera was in high spirits, while Yukika was despondent, and I did not know what to talk about. Like that, lunchtime comes to an end. Mitsuzuri and Tosaka, the situations of those two had only become more convoluted.
三辻先輩ですか？今日はいらっしゃってませんが、伝言があればお伝えしますが。
ねえ、いや、姉貴ならまだ学校にいるんじゃない。さっき校舎で見たけど。
そうか、邪魔をした。
Those two are together, huh?
エミヤバイトじゃないのかなすぐ出てったから。
ああ、もしかすると生徒会室かも。まだエミヤ出入りしてるから。けどどうかね。あいつ、
Yeah,
どこにでもいるようでどこにもいないからな。
that makes sense because literally you could go anywhere after school, you know. When playing as him. Both Mitsuzure Ayako and Emiya Shiro are unavailable. This time I have come to investigate by myself without Makidera or Yukika. Makidera has the enthusiasm, but her interests do not coincide with mine, so she is useless. Yukika feels bad about the fight between Miss Tosaka and Emiya, so forcing her to accompany me would be cruel. But this is becoming rather curious. Although I started investigating Mitsuzure Ayako out of mere curiosity, Miss Tosaka and Emiya Shiro suddenly got involved and created a suffocating tension. However, fundamentally, the degradation of the relationship between Tosaka and Emiya is a separate matter from the issue of Mitsuzure's boyfriend.
しかし
I mumble to myself as I head towards the student council room.
あの生徒会長殿に直に当たるしかないのか。
If Emiya is there with him, I can just separate them and ask him alone. If Rito is alone, I'll have to ask him directly in order to clarify the truth about Mitsuzuri. I'm puzzled as to why I'm so riled up about this, but I cannot accept giving up and wasting it all for nothing now.
3年のヒムロだ。入るぞ。
The student council room is mostly empty. People say that the members of the current student council are too businesslike. And as usual, the most enthusiastic man within the student council room is the only one in the room. Emiya Shiro is absent.
寺の子が一人で残業か。
年内に引き継ぎの資料をまとめねばならないのでな。役所の娘ならば師走に向けて働く姿など見慣れたものだろう。
The student council president, Ryu and Issei, sternly closes his mouth. It goes without saying that he's a handsome man, but his expression is clearly showing his misgivings about me.
それはまた耳慣れぬ呼ばれ方だ。
自分にも竜道一世という名前がある。顔を合わせるなり寺のこと言われるのは気に障る話だと思わないか？
His manner is quite overbearing, but it must be because he is not familiar with me. I lightly bow my head to him, continuing to argue over this will get me nowhere.
失礼した。それでは竜道一世君。
よろしい、氷室兼君。何か生徒会に用があるのですか？
陸上部のようでもクラスのようでもない。貴方個人に用があってきた。
Rito's eyebrows furrow. That is understandable. He probably feels troubled to hear that I have personal business with him. I sit down on the chair he offers. I'm grateful that the room has already been cleared of other people. I straighten my back and face Ryudo.
私に用がある？
竜道、君は三辻綾子と付き合っているのか？
I forgo any preamble and just cut to the chase. He's gonna be nonchalant, just be like, no. Never mind.
なんですと？付き合う？
Never mind. I was wrong. I fully expect him to just be like, no, let me get back to my papers. Guess not.
寺の子、君も今かなり取り乱している。なるほどな。いや、邪魔をした。
待て、氷室兼。いきなりそれで帰ろうとするな。
He grabs onto my sleeve to stop me. It is a display of panic unbecoming of the student council president, who is known for being cool, calm, and collected.
私の用は済んだのだが、これ以上引きとどめても仕事の邪魔だろう。私の質問は忘れてもらって結構だ。
そうはいくものか。いきなり他人に三辻綾子と付き合っているかどうか尋ねておいて、忘れてくれで納得できる輩がこの世のどこにいる？
Rito flares up at me. I feel that it would be better for his happiness if we do not continue on this subject any further, but I suppose I cannot just let it go and forget about it.
そもそも、なぜ自分とあの女が付き合っているという話が出てきた？
君より他に該当者が見当たらないからな。あの三辻城と釣り合いの取れる相手というのは。
Rito nods his head in understanding. I think he accepted that, but a frown quickly descends upon his face.
あの女丈夫と釣り合いが取れるというのはなかなかの光栄ではあるが、それは回答になっていない。 そもそも君がこの方面に興味を持っているというのは意外だったが。
三剣城が誰と付き合っているかという話題で、ただいささか無粋な好奇心を満たすために調べて回っているに過ぎない。
Although I wonder whether that will suffice as an answer.
先ほどは慌てていたが、さては竜道には意中の相手がいるのか。おお、その顔を見るとまんざらでもないようだな。
何を言うか。そういう君だって尊敬する相手の一人もいないのか。
尊敬する人物なら多い。竜道もその一人だ。世辞ではないぞ。そんな失礼な顔をするな。
うん。自分も一目置く人物から言われるのは正直喜ば。いや。うん。やはり世辞として受け取っておこう。
Rito clears his throat. I cannot tell whether this modest part of him is a virtue or a bad habit.
しかし、三剣が男女交際をしているとは自分も初耳だな。
私も昨日知ったばかりだ。候補者はまずはマトを信じ、そして君だった。
信じはありえないだろう。
Rito frowns. A small headache strikes me as I recall what happened in the back forest yesterday.
同じことをマトを桜城に尋ねたら目を丸くしていた。
それは彼女も災難だったな。しかるに私もマトを信じと同じぐらいにありえないと思うが、うん。三剣の交際相手か。
I must have piqued his curiosity. Rito falls into deep thought. And eventually lets out a long sigh.
エミヤがもし三剣と付き合っているのであれば、祝福したのだがな。
Oh, it's all gonna come back to him. Oh my god. Is this literally gonna be background characters discover the harem protagonist? Emiya Shiro and Mitsuzuri Ayako. I never considered that possibility at all until now. It is only natural after all.
だがな、氷室女子。エミヤが付き合っているのは、あの遠坂凛ではないか。
Is it actually like school knowledge now?
遠坂だぞ。メギツネだ、女海だ。それがエミヤをたぶらかしおってからに。
That's interesting that it is such public knowledge now.
ひどい話だと思わんか。おまけにエミヤもエミヤで矢に下がるありさまだ。
The possibility that Emiya could be Mitsuzuri's boyfriend is completely excluded due to Miss Tosaka. Seeming to have gotten a bit impassioned, Rito continues talking on and on towards me.
だからあのメギツネだけは捨ておけと言ったのだ。エミヤの良き性質を、遠坂の甘い魔性は蝕み損なう。そのあたりを早く悟れと何度言ってもエミヤはあの女に絡め取られたままだ。いいか、全くけしからん。
Dude, sock game on point, you know? I'm so sorry. I wonder whether he's absorbed in deriding his longtime archenemy Tosaka, or deeply lamenting the fall of his friend.
悪行雑言を私に聞かせてもらっても困るのだが。
そうであったか。とにかくエミヤと遠坂が付き合っているというのがいかんのだ。ああ、もし三剣綾子やセーバーさんがエミヤの伴侶であれば、この竜道一世、喜び祝福し、応援したもの。
I'm also excited to hear an outsider's perspective on Saber. Because, you know, none of them know that Saber is historic King Arthur. Shucky his pingy. Saber. He mentioned an unfamiliar name, but does it belong to someone from this country? Although for Ryudo to add a polite honorific after her name, he must be well acquainted with her. How unusual for there to be a female that has become so familiar with Ryudo. Suddenly, I realize that I myself am speaking quite familiarly with him.
Himuro君でも、まあ、エミヤの相手であれば望ましくはあるな。
君もとっさに大変なことを口にするな。今のをご当人に聞かせたいものだ。彼がどんな顔をするものか。
The class president's weakness seems to be that Emiya Shiro. Just what kind of obsession do these two have? Maki Dare with Miss Tosaka and him with Emiya. Some people are just hard to understand.
いや、 それはやめていただければありがたい。
Look at him blush, you know.
当たり前だ。私とてエミやシロを捕まえ損ねているのだからな。前に君のことを彼に尋ねようとした時には遠坂城との口論の最中だった。
It is bad taste to touch upon such matters. However, Ryo's eyes narrow in delight as if he just heard some good news.
ほう、本当か。それは。
嘘などついても一文の得にもならない。おそらくは恋人にはつきものの感情の行き違いであろうが。
Despite that, there are those who prematurely rejoice over it. I scold both Makidera and Ryusei in my mind. I can imagine Miss Tosaka saying, "Why are you guys so happy about other people's business?" And I would answer her thusly, "It is a beautiful girl's fate, accept it."
ヒムロ君。
いや、なんでもない。とにかく三辻綾子が誰と付き合っているか調査はこれで暗礁に乗り上げたわけだ。
ほう、三辻が苦手そうなのは知っている。エミヤのところのライダーさんだ。だが逆はなかなか思い当たらない。
I love the character networks in this game. It's my favorite thing. It's just characters being like, "Oh, I know about this character." Like, this part is literally just what are characters' relations to each other. Another unfamiliar name reaches my ears. Is that a nickname or her real name? A saber is a sword or weapon, and a rider is a driver of some sort. They are strange, even as surnames. In any case, Rito seems to be out of ideas, too. No. Now that I've come to this point, I can think of one other possibility. How long has it been? It seems to be noisy and boisterous outside, but in contrast, the inside of the student council room is filled with peace and tranquility.
ソチャで構わなければ飲むか、ヒムロ君。
いや、意外だな。竜道会長とこんなに親しく話し込むことがあるというのは。
そうだったな。あなたは接触がなかっただけで、元より自分に他意はない。我が生徒会執行部も君ほどの優秀な人材に恵まれていれば今頃は。
ヒムロいるか。
The door suddenly bursts open. No, it's more accurate to say that it is literally thrown open.
誰かと思えば3年の牧寺か。ノックぐらいできないものかね。
牧野寺、学園の備品は大事に扱わねばいかんぞ。
何を二人してそんなに落ち着いてやがる。
For some reason, Makidera is in a ferociously excited state. Rito gazes frankly and coldly at the noisy Makidera who just barged into the room.
どこ行ってたかと思ったぞ、ヒムロ。だから大変なんだって。
だから大変だというのは大胆な省略だな。マキには携帯を使うとかメールを打つとかそういうつては思いつかないのか。
Oh yeah, right. It's easy to forget that Shiro's just the one weirdo without a cell phone and everyone else does in this universe.
そんなことはどうでもいい。行くぞ。
Except for Tosaka, because she has no idea how to use technology. She roughly grabs onto my sleeve. Perhaps it is my sleeve's fate to be grabbed onto here in the student council room.
騒がしいな君の連れは。
静かになられても調子が狂う。失敬した。茶はいずれいただこう。
早くしろ。竜道の坊主なんかほっとけ。
Behind us, I can hear Rito say, "Makidera, I don't recall allowing you to call me son of the temple either, but I've already been dragged away. Recklessly running through the hallways doesn't really agree with me, but I cannot be helped with Makidera in this state."
何が起こった？
今ユキッチに現場を押さえてもらってる。もう特ダネなんだよ。
As I try to keep up with her, I glance at Makidera's face.
いただきだ。
Why does that expression of hers make me feel so uneasy?
カネちゃん、こっちこっち。
よし、ユキッチ、まだいるな。あれだ。
We stop and cut off our voices. Is there someone around the corner of this hallway? Oh! Mitsuzure Ayako and Emiya Shiro are near the stairwell. Strange. What is this pair that I was just thinking about in the student council room doing here?
な、特ダネだろ。
さっきからずーっと三辻さんとエミヤくん喋ってるよ。ちょっと楽しそうに。
Just as Yukika says, the two of them are talking openly with each other. It was quite a contrast compared to the thorny atmosphere during the conversation between Miss Tosaka and Emiya on the roof that was clear even from far away. Emiya's face is an open book like usual, but how should I describe Mitsuzuri-san?
笑った。
笑ってるね、三辻さん。
ずいぶん親密そうではないか。
I speak frankly. Although not as much as Tosaka, Mitsuzuri Ayako usually wears an angry expression more often than a smile. But the way she talks with Emiya and even slaps his back is not her usual self.
仲良かったんだね、エミヤくんって。
元はといえば、いや、でもあそこまでだとは知らなかったな。いやいや。何話してるんだろうな、あの二人。
聞こえないが、ここから出ていくわけにもいくまい。
Yukika's expression is troubled. That is only natural. Rather, it would be a problem if I didn't pain her heart, eavesdropping on the private lives of Miss Tosaka and Miss Mitsuzuri like this. For the deeply kind-natured Yukika, this must be torture. And Makidera is just standing there with sparkling eyes, posing. No sign of being troubled by this in the least. This is a big problem.
何か言ったか、ヒムロ。
いや、我が身を顧みて恥じっただけだ。しかし意外なようで意外ではない組み合わせだな。
どういうことだ、それ。
Makidera looks back with a puzzled expression, but before I could answer, the scene occurring down the hall changes.
話が終わったのか。しかし。
Mitsuzuri walks down the stairs, smiling. Emiya heads this way. Are we going to have to run away again? Panic sets among us, but we won't make it in time. Emiya glances curiously at us and then continues on his way. Silently, without a word from him or us. Yukika finally heaves a sigh of relief. Now that Emiya and Mitsuzuri are gone, even I feel a strong sensation of both tension and relaxation that I want to loosen my collar. Makidera's shoulders shake as she smiles suspiciously.
何かすごいもの見ちゃったね。
いやー、エミヤを追跡していた甲斐があったね。何かしでかすんじゃないかと心待ちにしてたんだよ。
Didn't you hate him not too long ago?
そうすると、今回から足を踏んだのは私だったということか。
I regret having fallen behind Makidera. No, it was not entirely fruitless.
っていうか、さっきヒムロは竜道と生徒会室で何やってたんだ？
あれ、竜道くんと一緒だったんだ、カネちゃん。
Makidera asks as if she just remembered it. It's not a topic I should bring up now, but it is also not a secret.
竜道に直談判をしていた。三辻と付き合っているのかと。
ってやつめはなんと？
あっさり否定されたな。どうも会長殿の意中の人は違うらしい。
なんだな、会長様も面白おかしい秘密を抱えているのかい。
How troublesome. Although the circumstances around Mitsuzuri have become complicated, both Rito and Makidera have been creating chaos and confusion inside my head. I wish they would follow Yukika's example. She is truly quiet, kind, and cooperative. I try to imagine a quiet, kind, and cooperative Makidera, and immediately give up on doing so.
そうなのか。お似合いのカップルだったのにね。
私もそうあってほしかった。あれは絵になるカップルだったから。
じゃあ今度のカップルはどうだい？絵になるかい？
By this couple, she'd only mean one thing: Mitsuzuri Ayako and Emiya Shiro.
マキちゃん、もしかして。
エミヤと三辻だろ。あの二人がよもやあんな風にくっついてたとは思わなかったね。
Makidera appears to be genuinely happy, but even so, it does not seem quite right. This whole thing smells like trouble.
どうだろう。エミヤは元弓道部で、三辻城はエミヤに随分遺留工作をしていたと聞く。辞めた後でも腹部を働きかけていたというな。
エミヤってうまいらしいな。全国目指せるくらいだって藤村先生から聞いたことある。
でも藤村先生も学生時代はなんだっけ、冬木の虎伝説があったんだよね。
The legend of the tiger Fuyuki, told about in rumors, is more like some kind of occult horror story, though. Getting back to the main topic.
とにかく弓道部をエミヤが辞めても三釣城との接点はあったわけだ。
あの代の副部長が神事だもんな。私が三釣だったとしたら同じことしたくなるよ。
だよね。
Makidera nods in sympathy, while Yukika becomes more depressed. Emiya and Mitsuzuri's going out means that Miss Tosaka is getting left behind in the dust. It's a somewhat harsh thing to imagine for Yukika, who admires her.
でも三釣がしていたのは遺留工作じゃなくて男女のアプローチだったってことか。
おかしいよマキちゃん。それだったら遠坂さんより先に。
What Yukika says is quite right. If Miss Mitsuzuri and Emiya started dating around the time he quit the club, then it wouldn't be strange for it to have gotten out by now. Furthermore, that would mean Miss Tosaka cut in from the side and stole Emiya. If that happened, the relationship of the two, no, three of them, would have inevitably worsened. But the circumstantial evidence rejects that. I've not heard anything about Reading is hard. Mitsuzuri and Miss Tosaka becoming estranged from each other, and Mitsuzuri's change in behavior was first seen at the beginning of spring as well. In other words, Miss Tosaka was dating Emiya first, this is certain.
そうだな。どういうことなんだこれは。
難しいが理屈が合わないわけではない。そうだな。
I motioned towards the two with my hands, precisely arranging the three of us into an equilateral triangle.
何するのカネちゃん。
例えば私とユキカと牧野氏が等間隔に離れていたとする。これでどうだ？
いや、どうもしないけどさ。何よそれ。
The two tilt their heads in confusion, wondering what was about to happen.
ではこうしたとする。
I step sideways and stand right behind Yukika, and then gently embracing her around the waist.
どうだ牧野氏、今の心境をありていに言ってみるがいい。
なんかすごく悔しい気がするんだけどな。
Within my arms, Yukika struggles, but I can only apologize in my mind. I want to continue the explanation while in this position, but I can't since the people around us are starting to stare. I release my hands and free Yukika.
そういうことだ。なあ、変なことをしてすまなかったな、ユキカ。
びっくりした。カネちゃん、いきなり抱きついてくるんだもん。
ヒムロの言いたいことが分かったような分からないような。
つまり先ほどの牧寺を三釣城、ユキカをエミヤ、私を遠坂城として考えてほしい。当初3人はほぼ等間隔の正三角形。いや、エミヤと遠坂の間は極度に離れた二等辺三角形だった。この状態ではお互い心理的に何ら波風は立ちようがない。
I form a triangle with my fingers to demonstrate. Both Makidera and Yukika nod as they follow along.
あの状態では何も思いようがないね。単なる友人だから。
でもカネちゃんがしたみたいに。
だが三釣城の前で友人であった遠坂城とエミヤ四郎が交際するという事態が発生する。そうなると牧寺の位置にいた三釣城はやおら孤立することになる。そうなれば彼女は自然と。
After I explain it up to there, Makidera continues the train of thought.
三釣にしてみれば悔しくもあるよな。それまでエミヤが好きだったかどうかは置いといても取られちゃったわけだから。
悔しいというか、そこで初めてエミヤが恋愛対象となりうる男性であったと気がついたというところか。そうなると三釣城は嫌でもエミヤ四郎を意識することになる。 今までの接触も帯びている色合いが変わってくる。ゆえに
I stop here to observe Makidera and Yukika's expressions. And judging that the details of my story have settled in, I continue.
むしろ遠坂城の交際が始まってからこそ三釣城とエミヤの交際の可能性が発生する。
上出来だ。今までの説明の中では一番説得力があるぞ、日村くん。特別に君に座布団3枚進呈だ。
The moment my explanation ends, a cheerful Makidera's shout of joy comes out. 3 cushions, she says. In other words, she must have been hinting that I may have been overdoing it. It is vexing, but I cannot deny it. With the hurdle now cleared, there is a great contrast between the delighted Makidera and Yukika. It pains me to see Yukika without a smile.
でもそうなると遠坂さんが。
非常に言いづらいことになるのだが、ありていに言えば遠坂城はエミヤに浮気されていることになる。いや、三釣城、遠坂城、エミヤの気まずい三角関係と言うべきか。とにかく
Although I had intended to find out Mitsuzuri's significant other, I ended up prying into someone else's love triangle before I knew it. In addition to that, I am a third party just out to satisfy my own curiosity. Although it is a bit late, I begin to hate myself. But there is one person not here for their own curiosity that is reveling in having gained a personal advantage.
まったく、エミヤのやつもなかなかの色男だね。遠坂と三釣の二股たよくやる。敵ながら感心するね。
そういう言い方はあんまり良くないよ、マキちゃん。
でもな、これを遠坂が知ればどう思うことか。ねえ。
It looks like even being rebuked by Yukika could not keep her loose lips in check. As with the time discussing Ryudo, Makidera's interests are centered around Tosaka. She will say something about using Tosaka since it has come to this, although it seems that she says this sort of thing every day.
さっきからなんだよ、ヒムロ。気味悪い目で私を見て。それはもしかして私に惚れたな。私に惚れるとやけどするぜ。
私に惚れれば投資を追うぞ。名は体を表すというからな。それはさておき、面倒なことになった。
ま、遠坂とエミヤは喧嘩してるし、エミヤと三釣はあれほど仲良しだったらそのままでもいいだろ。いずれはこの牧寺様の勝利の日が訪れるってもんや。
君はいいかもしれないが、仮説は立ったがまだ確証がない。このまま観察を続けるのも悪くはないのだが、さすがに。
This time I am avoiding hearing the story directly from those involved. In what way could I intervene and expose this delicate love triangle between men and women to the surface? Makidera's agitated gaze pours onto me.
また誰かにこいつを確かめるっていうの？イムロ？
もはやここまで行くと修正と化しているが、諦めてほしい。しかし、この三者に接触のある人物というのはいないではないか。
Taiga.
残念ながらここで手詰まりか。
There's still Taiga. With Ryu and Issei now out of the question, no one else comes to mind. But from the most unexpected place, standing alone, Yukika mutters.
一人いるよ。
ユキコ。
私もやっぱりエミヤ君のことちゃんと確かめたい。そうじゃないと遠坂さんが。
そうだな。ここまでやったからにはきちんと確かめる。しかしユキコ。
Could there be anyone we know that meets such criteria?
そんなわけなし。
I knew it! A roar that resounds all the way to the corners of Miyama, as though having heard the roar of a fighter jet is a miracle, that I did not faint from my eardrums being torn.
冗談にも程があります。今でもあのお家に誰が住んでると思ってるの？さくらちゃんにセーバーちゃんに遠坂さんにライダーさんよ。 なのに三辻さんまでやってきたらもうどこぞのラブコメ温泉下宿にも負けないわよ。いいな、勝っちゃダメだと思うの。先生、いろんな意味で。
Oh my god. Rather than a voice, it was a mass of air expelled to the limit of her lung capacity. The lens of my glasses rattle.
シローがお家に帰るとセーバーちゃんが三つ指ついてお帰りなさいって言って、さくらちゃんがエプロンで先輩ご飯できてますよって言って、東坂さんがシローちょっと付き合いなさいって誘って、ライダーさんがお風呂一緒にしませんかとか言う。
Oh my god.
こんなフラグ立ちまくりの恋愛下宿ハーレムだけでも肩払いたいのに、それなのに氷室さんったら。
Oh my god. She's just going ham.
はあ。エクトプラズム吐かないでください先生。今のはあくまで質問です。確認を取りたいのは私たちであって。
I calm Fujimura sensei as she writhes around in a fit of hyperventilation. As I thought, should we have passed on probing this person? To remember, I take a few steps back in the chronological order. The name that left Yuki's lips was Fujimura sensei. This was a blind spot indeed. Along with being the supervisor of the archery club, I hear she's like an older sister to Emiya Shiro. Moreover, it is said that she even has a relationship to Miss Tosaka. However, although she is easy to approach, we cannot inquire of such matters at school. And so we decide to wait for her to leave school in order to stop her off campus and wait for her story. At that time...
ああ、氷室さんに牧寺さん、それに三枝さん、こんにちは。こんなところで会うのは珍しいわよね。みんなあっちの方でしょ？帰り道一緒なの？え？私に相談があるの？まあ、みんなの頼れる藤村先生だから聞いてあげましょう。
I see, this is her in teacher mode, and you can see such a different person.
何？勉強とか友人関係とか？いじめは良くないよ。憎しみに憎しみで答えることほどみっともないことはないんだから。
And then as soon as the switch hits, it's like, yep, that's how it is. Teachers have two modes, teacher mode and not teacher mode. I am 99% of the time doing these videos in not teacher mode. And so it started out well enough, but...
シロのこと？あ、まあそこまで言うのなら、まあシロのことはよく知ってるからね。三辻さん？東坂さんも？
And so the mood. Changed into something like this. Did the conversation take a wrong turn at some point?
そういうあなたたちだって油断してると、そのうちシロにパッカーンとやられちゃうわよ。エミヤにか。そいつは。
それはご遠慮願います。
ってサクッと納得するな。そんなシロはエロエロじゃないんだから。お姉ちゃんが手塩にかけて桐次さんから大事に預かって育てたのに、そんなエロエロさんちの息子にしちゃったらどうやって草葉の陰にわべたらいいのよ。
Fujimura sensei is in a considerable state of confusion. I give up. Where do I go from here? No, maybe I should calm her down first.
大丈夫かな、藤村先生。
Also, can I just say, these scenes in the story so far have had some of the greatest use of just the placement of characters. You can tell from this that the three of them are huddling up with her in the background, kind of freaking out, right? It's great. I love it. This is some grade A visual novel, like character moving.
かなり大丈夫ではない気がするな。
こっそら正気だ。正気じゃないのはあっちなの。ご飯とかすっごく美味しいんだけど。
She points ahead, and the gate of the Emiya residence comes into view. He resides in such a samurai-like residence? An interesting discovery. I see. If the grounds are to this extent, it would not be unusual for there to be cohabitants. No. That Miss Tosaka and Miss Mato are residing here is definitely strange. Putting that aside, this tale will not proceed if we do not calm down Fujimura-sensei, who's at the peak of her excitement. I soothe her by patting her shoulders with both hands, while thinking, this is the behavior of someone who is our elder and superior.
誠に申し訳ないのですが、藤村先生。私が尋ねていたのは、エミヤの大変な環境ではなく、彼と三辻城が交際をしているかどうかということなのですが。
もう付き合ってるって話じゃなくて？
Was this misunderstanding that caused her to make such an uproar until now? Staring blankly, my pace falters just for a moment.
だからエミヤは三辻と付き合ってるんだろ？
そこで君の希望的観測をむやみに口にして混乱させるな、牧野寺。
どうなんですか、藤村先生。
You got asked while I scolded Makidera. Fujimura-sensei, who had been enraged until now, calmed down instantly and is now deep in thought as though puzzled.
そうね。確かに言われてみれば、シロと三辻さんは友人ではあるけども、男女交際関係はって言われればそりゃ難しいわよね。
いや、証拠はあるんだけど。
どれどれ？どんな証拠？先生にキャッチ&リーク？
Oh, yeah, by the way, teachers love to get onto that spicy student drama. Oh, they will. In the staff room, we'd be like, yo, you hear about this? Oh, yo, share the deets. We find students' YouTube channels and stuff. Oh, it's great. Appearing keenly interested, Fujimura-sensei draws up next to Makidera. I have a feeling that these two might get along well, but it'll be troublesome if they advance this discussion at their own convenience. I cut in towards the expectant sensei.
証拠というほどのものでもありません。遠坂城とエミヤが仲違いをしたとおぼしき後に、エミヤが三辻城と親しげに話し合っていたのを目撃しただけです。
それで十分じゃないか。状況証拠は揃ってるんだ。
I suppress my bubbling dissatisfaction. Having heard the only piece of evidence, Fujimura-sensei goes deep into thought.
でもあの二人は弓道部だし、三辻さんはまだシロと勝負つけたがってるみたい。それにお互い苦手じゃないからね。
ですので私たちも確証がなかったのです。もしや藤村先生なら何かご存知かもしれないと思いまして。
I glance, subtly examining Fujimura-sensei's expression. She smiled as though a bit troubled from being relied upon, but her expression gradually becomes more unclear. It's as though she's looking not at us, but beyond to somewhere distant. With the graceful behaviors since a moment ago, and this current feeling of isolation, it's difficult to think of this as the same Fujimura-sensei.
三辻さんとシロが付き合ってるっていうのはないんじゃないかな。
そりゃまたどうして？
いや、お姉ちゃんの勘かな。教師の勘でもあるんだけど。
Aha, she starts laughing as though trying to gloss it over. I experienced neither distress nor relief when she said that we were wrong. I merely think, is that so? As though indifferently watching something get washed away before my very eyes.
今はあんな風に遠坂さんもさくらちゃんもシロに懐いてるけど、あそこまでになるのがもう大変だったんだから。もともとシロは女の子相手は得意じゃないから、今でもしっちゃかめっちゃかなんだけどね。
At least he stopped the whole women should never fight sort of thing. That whole thing of, but you're a girl, you can't do that, but you're a girl. He stopped that very quickly, which is good because that was his worst trait. I can feel a nostalgia of something important in the way she speaks. With her like this, none of us can find a chance to interrupt.
それなのに三辻さんにまでちょっかい出せるほど器用にはシロを育てられなかったからな。ってあなたたちにそんなこと聞かせても困っちゃうか。
No, it is a very interesting story, I reply under my breath. She had on a warm and lonely smile, but as though she had remembered something, she draws up to us again.
でね、もう遠坂さんとシロが付き合い始めるのもすっごく大変だったんだよ。お姉さんは冬からもう砂かぶりでかぶりつき感染だったんだから。
その大変っていうのは？
東坂さんたらああ見えて積極的にシロにアプローチしてきてね、いきなりしばらく下宿させていただきますなんて言われて、もう仰天したもの。
The way approached is spelled there is driving me nuts.
あの東坂が柄じゃない。エミヤのやつなんか弱みでも握ったんじゃないのか。
I can hear Makidera grind her teeth as she says that. The beginning of the Emiya and Miss Tosaka's romance is a very interesting topic. In the first place, what kind of circumstances could have spurred those two who had no apparent contact before into a companionship? Yuki's cheeks were blushing after listening to such a vivid story. As for myself, I am troubled over which topic takes priority between Miss Mitsuzuri. I always... The S and the Z combination I have trouble with. Mitsuzuri and Miss Tosaka.
で、どうしたんすかエミヤは。ああ見えて男だし、ストレートに呼ばしたとか。
Oh, I hope we get... Oh, no. The one that was creeping into his room was Saber.
呼ばいはしてなかったけど、夜中にデートしてたみたい。その頃にはセーバーちゃんがやってたりもしたけどね。あ、でも私シロの家で倒れて病院に運ばれたりしたけど、帰ってきたらもうってなんだよ藤村先生。
Kuhuhu, Fujimura sensei laughs like an ill-mannered cat. I'm struggling with whether I should return to our original discussion.
ほらね、シロはあれくらいアタックされないと感じないニブチンさんだから。さくらちゃんも積極的だし、セーバーちゃんもああ見えてなかなか激しい攻撃を。
See, here's the thing. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna say that most guys have no idea when a move is being made on them. Most guys either think everything that is going on in their life is a move being made at them. There's guys who like literally will go to like and talk to it, like, you know, make a small, like you know, maybe the cashier will make a small joke, or the waitress, and they'll be like, that's it, she's making a move on me, when they're just doing their job. And then there's ones like me who literally can never tell when a move is being made on them until it's too late, and then the girl you like leaves forever, and you can't get dates on online apps anymore because you have no idea how to say anything. And okay.
私がシロに何かをしましたか、タイガ。
Oh, here we go. Who? Oh boy. A clear and beautiful voice, similar to the reverberating sound from striking silver or steel. A heavenly voice, but curiously not one suited for singing. Whoever it is that... however, it is one that resonates to my very bones.
おかえりなさい、タイガ。それに初めましてでよろしいのですか？
When I turned around, a blonde girl was standing there. She was lovely, even so that I completely forgot to blink for a moment. I just cannot comprehend. Why would such a beauty be here? I am not certain how to respond to this brilliant countenance.
こんにちは。はじめまして。私、三枝由紀香と申します。
ありゃ？セーバーちゃん、どうしてここに？
出かける際にタイガが大声で騒いでいたではないですか。家の中まで聞こえました。日頃からタイガが検討されているのは承知しておりますが、近所迷惑となるのは控えていただけるとありがたい。
A tone that is filled with pride, yet polite. From Fujimura Sensei's words, this girl is Saber. Could this be the name of the mysterious young lady I've heard about from Tosaka and Ryudo? I see. If she is a foreigner, that name is not so strange, I suppose. Saber. There might be some kind of origin behind this name. However, even I, someone who takes pride in having baseless confidence to not feel inferior to any person, am nervous in front of her.
気にしない気にしない。みんなご近所さんだし。
そうですね。昔からタイガはそうだったのかもしれません。申し訳ないのですが、こちらの方々はシロのお客様なのでしょうか？
Her attention is directed our way. Although she's not openly cautious towards us, even I am being overpowered when inquired by this figure. Moreover, it was not just by her beauty, but by her presence. It was like standing in front of historic King Arthur. Why is adding historic in front of King Arthur make it so much funnier? Makidera is avoiding Miss Saber. Is she instinctively wary of her? Only Yukika seems unfazed as she spoke to Miss Saber gently.
私たちホムラハラの3年で。なるほど。シローの同級生ですね。私はそうですね。セイバーとお呼びください。後ろのお二方は？
氷室かねさんと牧寺楓さん。あ、牧寺さんは名前聞いたことあるよね。
We bow our heads after being introduced by Fujimura sensei. With a Miss Saber thought over her name and seemed to recall it.
リンからお名前は伺ったことはあります。確か楓。
いやほら、私も遠坂の友達だから。
Overwhelmed, Makidera's answer is stiff. Usually she would be delighted that Miss Tosaka had mentioned her.
はじめまして、カネ。なかなかの人物とお見受けいたします。ユキカも先ほどはご紹介いただき痛み入ります。いえ、とんでもないです。
はじめまして。
Again, everything's all jumbled together in my head. Miss Saber, I only knew of her name, but I never thought she'd be this beautiful. It's understandable that even Ryudo praises her, but how does her existence affect the problem I currently face? There should be something somewhere that connects her. Somehow the awkward atmosphere at the end of introductions settled in. The ringing from a clap of hands shatters the slight tension.
そうね。中にさくらちゃんもライダーさんもいるんでしょ？上がってもらってお茶しましょうか。
ああ、申し訳ないのですが、タイガ。私は今から外出するところです。
そうなの？あれまあ残念。せっかく女の子だけでシローの恥ずかしい思い出話にふけろうと思ってたのにね。
With her arms folded, Fujimura-sensei nods in a way filled with disappointment. Miss Saber seems to be reluctant now as well, but shrugs off the temptation with a smile.
綾子に呼ばれまして。シローも一緒らしいのですが。
小山、三辻さんからとは、これはまた結構なお呼び出しで。晩ご飯までに間に合わなかったら連絡入れてね。
はい。それでは失礼します。
I love how we're getting the outside perspective on Shiro's life, and they're like, how is this happening? What a life. Just now, Mitsuzure Ayako's name came from her lips. I'm entranced as she bows her head and takes her leave. No, it cannot be. Such a thing's impossible, but if it was possible, then indeed. Her appearance is gorgeous even from behind, and the autumn winds seem to sweep away and cleanse the ground she walked.
行っちゃった。
ほっとろいたね。あんなモデルみたいな子、本当にいるんだ。
And that's how I felt when I first saw her. Oh man.
セイバーちゃんは確かにお人形さんみたいに綺麗だけど、あれでものすごく腕が立つんだよね。桐次さんの親戚だって聞いてるけど、どんなお師匠さんについたんだか。
Fujimura sensei tells us cheerfully about Miss Saber. She is skilled, since it is Fuyuki's tiger praising her. Needless to say, it must be related to swords or bows.
うっそ、あんなに小さくて細い子なのに。
人は見かけによらないんだから。あの肩幅の細さがくせ者でね。まだセイバーちゃんから一本も取れないし、私も年かねって嫌だわ、じじむさい。
はあ、すごいんですね、セイバーさんって。
If she has that much skill, it's not unreasonable to fall for her. Disregarding the false impression Shinji gives, I hear that Rito and Emiya are both quite skilled. That being the case, if her skill is that outstanding and her looks are just as good.
どったの？ヒムロ？さてはあのセイバーさんに惚れたのか？
違う。惚れたのは私ではない。三辻城だ。
Oh my god, are we doing this? Okay. Sorry, that went over my head. Right, such a combination is also possible. Actually, a more desirable and clean composition than the chaos of a love triangle is born. Not that there's no problem, rather there's quite a critical issue.
え、カネちゃん？
いや、私は今まで重大な間違いを犯していたらしい。三剣城が誰かと付き合っている。それを無条件に男性の彼氏であると仮定していた。
Let's play the How Progressive Is This Game Gonna Be card.
この過ちが我々の推理と調査を誤らせ、あらぬ問題に深入りさせていた原因だ。
I attempt to explain it myself, but it's frustrating. In other words, I compose my thoughts and continue speaking.
三剣綾子が惚れていたのは男性ではない。女性だということだ。
ってことは、ヒムロ、お前さんが言いたいのはその三剣が
Okay, yeah, no, that's where we're at.
バカ言うなよ。三剣はエミヤと付き合ってんだろ。
But we've already said that it's not happening.
だから牧の字のそれは希望的観測に過ぎないと言っている
Sorry,
ではないか。
I forgot, you're stupid.
確かに二人の仲は親密であったが、どうやらそれ以上の発展の可能性が薄いことは藤村先生の証言からも察せられる。
As I explain this to Makidera, perhaps she's still too stunned to object. In that brief opportunity, I add on my addendum to the explanation and press on.
逆にエミヤと三剣城の友人関係があればこそ、セーバー城と三剣城の交際関係が成立しうる。ちょうどエミヤが橋渡しになっていた形だが、本人は至って無自覚だろうな。それに時期も符合する。セーバー城がこちらに来たのはおそらく2月前後。三剣の変化が4月。多少のズレはあるが、彼女が穂村原の生徒でないのだから、それも当然だ。
As I say this out loud, the thought of whether she is even an exchange student crosses my mind.
ちょい待ち、ヒムロ。そりゃないって。三剣とセーバーさんは女の子同士だもん。
別に惚れた腫れたは異性の間に限った話ではあるまい。
Himuro Kane says gay rights.
三剣城は美男美女は武芸達者であってしかるべきという信条の持ち主。そしてセーバー城はあれほどの美貌を誇り、冬木の虎をも驚嘆させる達人なのであれば、理念が死母に、そして連母に移り変わるのも難しい話ではない。
そういえば三剣さんもセーバーちゃんに手合わせを挑んでたわね。
Fujimura sensei quietly divulges important testimony.
本当ですか、藤村先生。
何度か見たことある。もちろん三剣さんもボッコボコに負けてたけど、あれはあれで羨ましくなるほどに気持ちよさげだったね。
Ah, this is youth, Fujimura sensei says, moved by deep emotion.
そんなもんかな。私には合点がいかないのりっつうか。女同士なら普通に仲いいだけでいいじゃんか。
だからそれが極まってしまったのだろう。それにだな、三剣城とエミヤの関係ゆえに遠坂城を絡めた三角関係の邪推に陥っていた。だが三剣城の相手がセーバー城であれば、エミヤを絡めた問題は何も生じ得ない。
How did we get here?
生じ得ないような生じ得ているような。いいのかなそれ。なんか不純、納得いかない。そういうの愛情じゃない気がする。
Wow. Why you like that? Makidera is troubled. It's either a matter that she cannot accept personally or just cannot comprehend it.
牧野寺、君は三剣城とセーバー城が交際すると何か不利益を被るのかね。
は？いや、そんなことはないけど。でもそういうのよくわかんないっていうか。
I suppose she's fumbling for the right words. Certainly, it would be difficult to say that there will be no problems given the views of society on this type of couple, but especially in Japan, where it's still really not looked very well upon.
確かに行く先は茨の道であろうがな。
Especially at the time this came out.
だが、そんな友情を超えた死亡、優しく応援してやっても決して罪にはなるまい。
いや、それ罪でしょ、普通に。
三剣さんとセーバーちゃんね。確かに 三辻さんは面倒見が良くて、セーバーちゃんはちょっとズボラだからお似合いのカップルかな。
なんだよ、藤村先生まで OK かよ。
See, it's very strange. It's very strange that Fujimura is not batting it down and is like, yeah, okay, I guess. It's kind of weird. Ha 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 ha, Fujimura sensei laughs joyously. Far from fretting over the fact that students are engaged in impure same-sex relationships. Come on. This person is obstinately amused by it.
それにだな、牧野氏。最後に非常に重要な要素がある。
それってもしかして。
あの二人は実に縁になる。
Disagree, but that's okay. That's because I think me and Saber are a picture-perfect couple, but okay. Curtly put, Makidera's eyes become little dots. A gender-neutral type of beauty like Mitsuzure Ayako with a beautiful and resolute young girl like Saber. There's no mistaking it. As long as it could be modeled on them, those who wield a paintbrush from all over the world would rise in excitement. And although I have not wielded one myself for a long time, even my heart has been set aflutter. However, I suddenly sense something out of place.
またそれかー。ヒムロ、あんたから座布団全部没収。
没収でも何でもするがよい。だが私の絵心が座布団の一つや二つで動かされると思うのは大間違いだ。と。
Something is lacking. Or rather, Makidera and I are going on like this, and yet the presence that is always with us is lacking. Although because Fujimura sensei was there in its place, I had not felt it until now.
牧野氏、一つ聞くが。
なんだい、根性の名残に聞いてやろう。
ユキカはどこだ？
Looking around us, I see no one else but Fujimura sensei. Yukika, the one that is always with us and sharing her warm smile, is not here.
三枝さん、セーバーちゃんを追いかけていたみたいだけど。
ユキッチが？
Yukika followed Miss Saber. Perhaps did she go to verify directly what I had spoke of just now?
おい、ヒムロ、追うぞ。
わかった。しかし何故？
I wonder if Yukika wanted to help in her own way. She was the one most troubled when I suggested the love triangle involving Emiya. Therefore, perhaps she wanted to mediate between Miss Saber and her?
あ、交差点の方に降りてったから。
わかりました。ありがとうございます、藤村先生。
Makidera takes off running. I do not know how much of a head start she got, but with our leg strength, catching up will not be difficult. Makidera speaks as we run side by side.
ユキッチったら、一体なんで？
私たちが勝手にやりすぎていたからだろうな。そろそろ踏ん切りをつけないと、ユキカにかかる迷惑が並大抵ではない。
The scenery passes by. We should be catching up to her soon. There, two people are walking side by side further down. However, I'm restrained by Makidera before I could rush over.
待った、ヒムロ。距離を置こう。
了解だ。
Miss Saber and Yukika are talking together. Even when viewed from behind, the profile of the two gentle people peek through. Rather than intruding, it would be best for us to let Yukika carry on her conversation like this.
なるほど。ユキカはリンのクラスメートなのですか。思い出しました。昨日確かあなたの名前をリンの口から聞きました。え、本当ですか？どんなお話を？
Yukika smiles happily. Miss Saber also had a faint smile, but it was pure and clear, like trickling water over stones. A smile coming from such a beautiful woman is simply out of this world.
お弁当をいただいたと、美味しかったと言っていました、リンは。そうですか。お口に合ってよかったです。リンは見ての通りの美食家ですから、自信を持ってもよろしいものかと。
そうなのか、遠坂って。
彼女がグルメであっても罪にはならん気はするな。
We walk behind them, speaking in subdued voices. Miss Saber glanced our way only once, but then promptly resumed her chat with Yukika. She totally sensed them.
話を聞いて、シロも感心していました。今度話を聞きたいとも。 あ、エミヤくん、お料理するんですね。お話は。
ええ、最近はさくらやりんも厨房に立ちますが、もっぱら四郎が厨房の主です。
エミヤくんなら似合うかもしれません、お台所。
That Emiya Shiro in the kitchen with an apron. Well, it's a little strange that an apron suits him so well, though both the image of working covered in oil and being in the kitchen would fit him better than they would this self-proclaimed Black Panther here.
かね、なぜそんな目で私を見る？
君には台所は縁遠そうだと思っただけだ。安心しろ、私も腕が立つとは言わない。
お眼鏡違いだね、ヒムロ。私はこう見えても和食は得意だぞ。
Instant ramen does not count. Oh, that's unexpected. Perhaps Maki's lunchboxes are handmade. However, while we were distracted by our own small talk...
セーバーさん、今日、三辻さんにお呼ばれなんですか？
ええ、どうもシントまで来てほしい用があるそうです。要件はよくわからないのですが、幸い私も余裕がありましたから。
こういうこと多いんですか？
Yuka boldly follows up with another question for Miss Saber. Probably due to her amicable disposition, she meets no resistance to her questioning.
たびたびではありませんが、全くないわけでもありません。
じゃあ、セーバーさんは三辻さんをどう思いますか？
Suddenly, her question attacks a vital point and our breath stops. The conversation pauses for a moment, as it appears that Miss Saber is searching for the right words.
そうですね。誠意のある方です。彼女はシロとリンの良き友人だ。
私も三辻さんは立派だなって思ってるんですよ。あんな風になれたらきっと素敵だろうなってずっと。
ええ、私も友人として綾子に接することができるのは得難いことだと思います。
Those words are simply too pure. It was like drinking distilled water, an answer that lacked any flavor. Her smile is too bright to the point of being dazzling. There is courtesy, but I feel nothing more than that.
なあ。
Makidara whispers while nudging me with her arm. I wonder if she's getting the same feeling that I am.
やっぱり違うんじゃないのか？
You
三辻と彼女って。
are.
やはり牧野氏もそう思うか。いや、まだ三辻が彼女に片思いである可能性も残っているのだが、それも
どんどんヒムロの仮説の寿命は短くなってくるな。今度は1時間持たなかったぞ。
Even if it is Makidara saying it, I have no words with which to retort. Now then, I am at a complete stalemate here. Frankly, there cannot possibly be anything between Miss Mitsuzuri and Miss Tosaka. Could a completely hidden dark horse exist? There might be. Or rather, could she be with nobody?
ユキカはこの後いかがされるのですか？
ごめんなさい。ご用事があるのに呼び止めちゃって。ご一緒にお話しさせてもらって。
いえ、私も楽しかったです。そうですね。ユキカのお料理をリンやシロウと共にご商売に預からせていただければありがたいです。
はい、私も頑張っちゃいます。お好みのものがあればぜひ教えてくださいね。
Ah, Yukika's smile. How nice. What? What on earth just happened? By the time I realized what was going on, I'd been thrown into the alleyway.
な、
What?
静かに。来た来た。
What in the world happened? Makidara throws me to the back wall and clings against the corner.
あら、セイバーじゃない。それに三枝さんも。あ、どうも、遠坂さん、こんにちは。
おかえりなさい、リン。
Did Miss Tosaka come over? I can tell because of the different tone of voice. Miss Saber is calm, but is Yukika surprised? And now even Makidara is in a state of panic, albeit a strange one.
珍しい組み合わせよね。あなたと三枝さんっていうのは友人だったの？
いえ、
先ほど途上でお会いしたばかりですが、リンはお帰りですか？そういうセイバーはこれから外出？
The way Miss Tosaka speaks is quite a bit less formal. Is this how the perfect honor student at school speaks normally? Yep.
マキ、遠坂城はいるのか？
No reply. Since it cannot be helped, I move to her side and peek beyond the corner. As I thought. I see the always elegant Miss Tosaka with Yukika, who is in deep awe at the sight of her.
ええ、綾子とシントまで。こちらのユキカは同道させていただいていますが、特には。あ、私は三辻さんとは用事はないんです。ちょっとセイバーさんとお話しさせていただいてただけです。ねえセイバー、ちょっと付き合わない？
A smile spreads across Miss Tosaka's face, as though she is plotting something mischievous. Oh, these people don't know that she always is. And then she seems to glance this way. Have we been noticed? Well, even if so, that would not be so strange. That would not be strange.
これからシントに行くのですが。いいじゃない。私だって用があるんだから。じゃあ私はこれで。スーバーさん、遠坂さん、さようなら。
Yukika bows her head and tries to leave. Perhaps she feels uncomfortable. If Miss Tosaka and Miss Saber were in such a friendly mood like that around me, I would find it difficult to stick around any longer as well. But suddenly, did Yukika see Tosaka smiling?
ねえ、三枝さんもご一緒しません？にゃにー。
The one who gasped was not Yukika, but Makidera. Did Miss Tosaka casually invite Yukika as a friend, I wonder? I cannot read her intentions. Moreover, the manner in which she is overruling Miss Saber's intentions concerns me as well.
私がご一緒していいんですか？ええ、お弁当ごちそうになったし、ぜひお返しさせてください。容器を戻すついでに、今度は私のお弁当を食べていただこうかなって。本当ですか？
Truly, quite tactful invitation by Miss Tosaka. Miss Saber is surprised. There's no mistaking she felt it as well. To be so overbearing her invitation of Yukika and herself, Miss Tosaka's behavior is somehow odd.
リン、よろしいのですか？ですが私には綾子との約束が。セイバーも三枝さんとしたい話もあるでしょ？私も綾子やシロとはちょっとね。まあおごってあげるし、聞いてもらいたい話もあるから付き合いなさいって。そうね、サンブリューがいいわね。はい。でも私。
Her smile is somehow awkward. Miss Tosaka, partly by force, drags Saber away. Yukika followed them as well, as if being pulled by a magnetic force. They head towards the Shinto-bound bus.
おい、ユキカが持っていかれるぞ。
それは困った。だがどうする？奇妙だな、遠坂城のあれは。
However, I hesitate to just barge in from the side. But be that as it may be, even if Yukika was reluctant, it seems she was also happy to be invited. It would be rude to interfere. Whether the situation is favorable or not, the bus...
なんだってのよ、あいつ。
Uh-oh. Makidera starts running. She runs up to the bus as the door is closing and forcefully wedges herself inside.
無茶をするな、牧野氏は。
An act like that could disrupt traffic. Moreover, what must Miss Tosaka and Yukika be thinking after seeing her board that like some kind of bus jacker? While I watched on, amazed, the bus rolls away. And only I was left behind. Should I have followed Makidera? Although boarding in the same manner would have been very unsightly indeed. Makidera should be carefully screaming cushion confiscation or some such by now.
やれやれ。
Oh my god. It's been 2 hours and there's still more? Final act? That's like midnight my time. Can I save and quit here? Let's see. So if I hit continue, will it continue there? Thank God, okay. I'm gonna stop the recording. For you, it's gonna be a full video. But oh my goodness, I am tired, and I thought this would have been... I didn't know this would be so long. Even with that being the only eclipse scene, it's like, yeah, there's a lot. Okay. You'll get to see the conclusion of this in a second. Okay, let's continue. I have no clue how long this is actually going to be. It is the final act. Thankfully, it's not like a 5-act, like a kabuki play, because that would be long. Instead, it's 3. The situation has become complicated once again. I need to sort things out. First is Makidera's attachment to Tosaka. It does not merit much concern. My personal opinions aside, Makidera's behavior is easy to understand. Next to the matter of Miss Tosaka and Emiya. Miss Tosaka's aims may be ambiguous, but her propensity for chaos is clear, and she drags everyone from Miss Mitsuzuri to Miss Saber into her messes. However, how far we have to go in solving this problem will depend on those two's intentions. Though I am indeed only a curious spectator, it is interesting nevertheless.
それは副次的な問題だな。
At any rate, the question of Mitsuzuri Ayako's relationship, that is the real challenge. So far, our efforts have been fruitless. Given the situation, wouldn't it be more appropriate to think that Miss Mitsuzuri does not have a partner? Let's assume that is so. In that case, just what could her suspicious behavior in April mean? It can't be helped. I cannot divine every detailed mystery simply by kicking back and watching. In any case, as all of the relevant parties are in Shinto, there is no choice but to head there. Was it Saint Ryuk? The shop Miss Tosaka went to was... Sensing someone next to me at the bus stop, I look up. It's a tall male student wearing the Homura uniform.
どうも、先輩。
Hi.
ごきげんよう。君は確か三辻城の弟みのりくんだね。
What if he actually knows? That'd be wild. Our first meeting, was it at the archery club? I think I remember seeing him there. Still, this is the first time we have spoken. We are 2 years apart after all, and in completely different clubs.
こんにちは。いい天気ですね。
Oh, you are trying your best for small talk. You make idle small talk. Makidera said he was gruff, but on the contrary, he seems even easier to deal with than Emiya. Since Mitsuri's brother is from a martial artist lineage, perhaps he tempers his personality in a similar way. A peculiar conversation partner to have right now. Should I try asking him? Assuming the brother is ignorant, I may have to rule out obtaining the subject's identity straight away. But if Miss Mitsuzuri's partner happens to be someone outside of school... Did I say brother? Miss Mitsuzuri's partner happens to be someone outside of school, her brother might be the only one who knows anything.
みのりくん、一つ尋ねてもいいかね？
え？
私は3年のヒムロかね。ヒムロと呼び捨てにしてもらって結構。
そうはいきません。いや、俺に答えられることならいいですけど。
Wow, he is surprisingly nice when he's not trying to hit up Sakura. He seems to be as polite as his upperclassmen as I thought. Polite to his upperclassmen, rather. Relieved, I press on.
君の姉、三辻綾子嬢は誰かと付き合っているのかね？
姉ちゃんが？
異性同性司祭は構わない。とにかく君が知っている限りのことでいい。
異性同性構わないってどういう意味ですかそれ？
He is stunned into silence. Of course, anyone would react similarly if asked that out of the blue. Perhaps I'd better say something to soften the blow. Oh god, is he gonna take it as, sorry, my sister doesn't swing that way, try your shot with some other chick?
君が知らなくても責めはしない。いや、知らなくて当然だな。
いや、それは。
He certainly looks terribly troubled. However, I have a feeling he isn't terribly sorry for not knowing.
そうか。初対面でこのようなことを聞くのはいささか無礼だな。申し訳ない。
はあ、姉ちゃんの彼氏っすか。あれは。
He mumbles. Just what exactly does he know? As I fix him with a stare, he retreats back. Quite suspicious.
何か知っているのかな？
そんなこと言えるわけないじゃないですか。
知らないのではなくて？
だって姉ちゃんのことでもう恥かきたくないですよ。俺だっていろいろ悩みはあるんですから。
Turns away quickly, as if to indicate the conversation is over. Perhaps he thought acting angry would deter me, but nice people are not good at being mean. Kid, you might as well be confessing to being a material witness. No doubt about it. He knows something. He has his own problems. Is Mitsuzuri's brother also having love troubles? Naturally, people like me are always pursuing rumors of another's love affair are wicked. However, there is a reason for the wicked to be wicked.
氷室先輩もこれからシントですか？
そうだな。友人連があちらにぞろっといる。何の因果か、東坂城とエミヤを追いかける羽目になった。
あいつですか。
Oh. Mitsuzuri's brother is being uncharacteristically brusque towards an upperclassman. Might Emiya and this boy be in a quarrel? I would think their only interaction would be through the archery club. No, think. There has to be something else. Mitsuri's brother holds an important clue, but I also cannot neglect the problem of Miss Tosaka and Emiya. This could end up as, he who runs after two hares will catch neither. Let's see, what now? Tosaka and Makidere's group have already reached their destination, and this bus is sufficiently delayed. I am quite uneasy about the state things will be in when I arrive, but I cannot help but wonder about Mitsuzuri's brother. There's no telling what he might know.
さて来たか。彼らの方も手遅れでなければいいのだが。
なんか大変っすね、氷室先輩も。
Now to board the bus. I hear hurried footsteps closing in. I calmly turn around and...
まだ間に合います、さくら。
Oh boy.
ちょっと待ってもらって、ライダー。
マト部長。
Mitsuri's brother's tone completely changes. A beautiful, wide-eyed, long-haired woman runs inside. She is on par with Miss Saber. No, as a woman, she is clearly more developed. Despite her glasses and somewhat unfashionable clothing, she is more than beautiful enough to compensate, almost frighteningly so. A brief glance from her sends chills running down my spine. What a mysterious sensation. Rider? Could that be the name of the woman I had heard about from Ryu and Fujimura sensei? Small world, huh? Being pulled by the hand is Mato Sakura, a second year. Miss Mato immediately recognizes me, or rather Mitsuzuri's brother, and smiles broadly.
あ、みのりくん。
大丈夫です。まだ間に合います、部長。
ありがとうございます、みのり。
Miss Rider and Mitsuzuri's brother hold the door open while Miss Mato boards. And now, Mitsuzuri's brother is going out of his way to behave gallantly. That's... I remember now. Mitsuzuri's brother was interested in Mato-san, wasn't he? That would explain his attitude towards Emiya. How very interesting. This, too, is juicy material indeed. Ho ho. My lips unconsciously break into a smile. But if I keep grinning like an idiot, I will miss the bus. I follow Mitsuzuri's brother on board. Unintentionally, I'll let a stifled laugh slip out while right behind him.
何ですか、氷室先輩。
いや。
Oh, that is terrifying. That's terrifying. I would pee my pants. As the bus rolls along, my suspicions harden into conviction. While Miss Mato courteously greets her underclassmen, he can't take his eyes off her. This boy might be trying to hide it, but his interest is clear as day. Really, the problem is that Miss Mato is oblivious to it all. As the club captain thanks and compliments him with innocent warmth, Mitsuzuri's brother is virtually paralyzed with joy and anxiety. It is budding love. As the saying goes, sandalwood is fragrant even as a sprout. The best ones start young.
これだから面白い。
While speaking to myself, that beautiful Miss Rider stands across from me. For some reason, as we both observe Miss Mato and Mitsuzuri's brother, the sense of caution between us seems to have vanished. Is it because we have similar style? That can't be it. Though it seems more like watching this is resulting in anxiety for her. I wonder what the relationship between Miss Rider and Miss Mato is. Is it something like a tutor or a maidservant? Perhaps some kind of personal secretary? Whatever the case, it smacks of some kind of supervisory role.
面白いのですか、カネ。
私の名をご存知か？そうではないですか。あの三綴弟の様子を見ていると面白くて仕方ない。
私はさくらが心配です。みのりは悪人ではないと感じているのですが。
Physically, she is utterly gorgeous, but now that we have spoken, it seems she lacks some confidence. Or rather, just from our attitudes, one would not immediately assume I was the younger one. Though I don't know her age, I would say older than 20, but under 30.
あの二人はなかなか微笑ましい。
It's kind of true, I can see that.
そうですか。
Mitsuzuri's brother and Miss Mato are walking several steps ahead of us. Perking up my ears, I try to make out their conversation.
秋の大会のことだけど、みのりくんは新人戦だよね。
はい、そうです。部や先輩のためにも頑張ります。
Oh, you can hear the sucking up in his voice.
みのりくんは一番的前に立つの早かったからね。やっぱり先輩の弟さんだなって。
いや、恐縮です。でも部長や姉ちゃんより全然下手ですよ。で、部長はこれから
ライダーと一緒に買い物。みのりくんもそうなのかな。
いや、俺はブラブラするだけですから。
The kid sure is trying hard. It makes me want to run over and jump in. Now hold on, Himuro-kane. It's all fun and games, but aren't you forgetting the matter of Tosaka and Emiya? It would be regrettable to let them get away, but let's prioritize this first.
ああ、三綴弟。君。
Kimi, I like that.
なんすか、氷室先輩。
His mood is slightly sour, as if I had interrupted by calling his name just when it was getting good. If I had not said anything, you had been stuck there forever, I want to tell him, but I withhold such frank advice. It's threatening.
含みがありますね。なんすか、その気味の悪い笑い。
しっけえな。まるで牧のように笑っているみたいではないか、私が。何少年、いろいろと苦労するな。
It's a bit rude to talk down to him when there are only 2 years between us, but there isn't a more fitting tone for this conversation. Mitsuzuri's brother is openly startled by my calling him a boy.
苦労なんてしてないけど、平常っすよ、俺。
それを重荷と感じないうちが人生で最も気悦に満ちた時間である。麗しき青春。羨ましいものだ。
氷室先輩、正直言うと少しイラつくんですけど。
His gaze matches his biting words. He is truly a Mitsuzuri, as sharp as a sword, but you are not experienced enough that I cannot see right through your bluff. Clearing my throat, I lower my voice so Miss Mato and Miss Rider wouldn't hear.
それは失礼した。何、老婆心というやつでね。恋の悩みならこの私が聞いてあげようかと。マト部長と仲良くなりたいのだろう。
Forward.
あんたいきなり何を。
As Mitsuri's brother is about to start shouting without regard for his surroundings, I quickly place a finger on his mouth to silence him. Look, if you do something like that... The clueless Miss Mato and the ever-distressed Miss Rider are a stark contrast against each other. While if Miss Mato were behaving in such a fashion intentionally, she would be quite the wicked woman, frighteningly so in fact. So on the count of 10, when he finally calmed down, I removed my finger.
大声を上げるな。聞かれるとまずいのは君の方だろ。
誤解ですよ。なんで俺が恋の悩みなんか。
本人同士は気がついていないか。いいな。いよいよ甘酸っぱい青春の蜜の味がするな。
趣味悪いぜ、氷室先輩。人の内情を楽しむなんて口汚いばあさんと変わらないっすよ。
He's really not wrong. He's not taking what I've said lightly.
せめてイカズゴケか老女と言ってくれないか。
は、全部姉ちゃんに言って殺されかけたっけ。すめすご手でさ。
それは今回ばかりは三釣城に同情するな。とにかくだ。私も先輩としていろいろおせっかい焼きをしてみたくもなったわけだ。三釣弟よ。
It may be unwelcome assistance, but unwelcome assistance is the spice of life. I would even become a nun if I got to spend time actually giving simple and sharp unwelcome advice. Actually, there may never be a time when a nun's assistance is unwelcome.
さて、そんな恋の悩みを聞いてあげるからにはだ。君も私の悩みに関していろいろ協力してもらえるとありがたい。
だから俺は別に悩みなんて。ちょっと先輩、まさか。
協力しないと彼女に暴露する。
Oh my god.
と私が脅していると
It cannot be helped if he thinks so. For me to do such a thing, I would have to become a cruel woman. I thought Mitsuzuri's brother would be furious, but instead he is gritting his teeth and groaning.
安心しろ。そんな卑劣な真似はしない。何、君のお姉さんの話をいろいろ伺いたいだけだ。
だから知らないって。そのことなら姉ちゃんに直に尋ねた方がいいですよ。あの人、質問にはきっちり答える人だから。
Are you saying we could have avoided 3 hours of this if we just asked her?
それでも君にいろいろ教えてもらわないことには話の短所がなくてな。
While we were walking, talking, and so forth, those ahead of us were glancing back in our direction.
日村先輩、みのりくんと何話してるの？
聞かない方がいいです、さくら。
仲良かったんだ、あの二人。知らなかったな。
You're not that good at reading people, are you, huh? And so, as I feigned ignorance to the other party's conversation as it entered my ears, our relationship is not necessarily good, I just toy with him one-sidedly. However good it may be, I don't intend to play with him forever. Makidera and Yukika, in addition to the goal of Miss Tosaka, remain. I could get cold-blooded frigidity. If 2 people remain, I feel mad enough to scream. Nearly drenching him in spittle at the right moment, I change course.
三釣弟よ。悪い魔女に捕まったと思って諦めてくれ。
たく、なんすかそれ。姉ちゃんといい先輩といい。普通に可愛げないっすよね。なんでマト部長みたいにおしとやかじゃないんですか。
おお、彼女がいいのか、彼女が。なるほどな。
あ、エミヤ先輩。
Everyone turns around at Miss Mato's voice. Emiya is here? With this, I will save the trouble of searching for him, I thought, but...
ああ、さくら。ライダーもか。
just out and about.
こんにちは、さくら。二人ともお出かけ？さくらもライダーも奇遇ですね。
Oh my god, it's everyone. How? It's not just Emiya, Miss Tosaka and Miss Saber are with him too. Those 3 being here, what kind of magic is this? What happened to Yukika, Miss Mitsuzuri, who should have been with her, and the troublesome Makidera? What happened in this short period? It's beyond the realm of comprehension. Moreover, Emiya and Tosaka, who are supposed to be in the middle of a dispute, seem completely friendly with each other.
セイバーさんも先輩と一緒だったんですか？外でタイガが騒いでいた後でいろいろありまして。でも藤村先生のあれがないとちょっと調子が出ませんよね。
She's always raging.
藤姉、また近所迷惑をしでかしたのかな？
I am so not used to Shiro having sprites beyond his 2 from stay night. Everyone from the Emiya residence are engaged in a thoroughly calm conversation with each other. Mitsuzuri's brother, Miss Ryder, and I are not able to join in their circle. I took a quick side glance and noticed Mitsuzuri's brother's cheeks stiffen. That's right, he must be self-aware that Emiya called her without any honorific.
まあいつものことです先輩
Look at this literal graphic of the harem, huh?
藤村先生を静かにさせるにはシローが身をもって受け止めないとね誤解を招く表現ですリンでもあ先輩も姉さんももう
Nei-san? Did I hear wrong? Why did Miss Mato call Miss Tosaka Nei-san? But more importantly, I am concerned about the words Miss Mato was about to say. That's right, Miss Mato and Miss Saber should know more than me about the circumstances of the discord between Emiya and Tosaka. It was resolved so clearly.
そうですリン私も昨日はいろいろと心に病みました
すまないな。セイバーにもさくらにも。
まあいつものことでも今回はいろいろ迷惑かけちゃったわねほらそこの氷室さんも結構気にしてたみたいだし
Are we going to learn what this is? I cringe when she mentions my name. The incident at the roof and also on the road. Does this mean she knew?
ヒムロ、さくらと一緒だった？
いろいろあってこの三綴弟とも同道していたユキカとマキが一緒にいたと思うのだがどこにいるかご存知か
I want to hear a lot more, but those two are my priority. Moreover, I hope that Miss Mitsuzuri is also...
あのお二人ならば喫茶室で別れましたが本当にちょっとシローにお説教しただけでこんな大事になるなんてね少しは反省しなさいそこ
What is this incident?
俺も悪かったけど、遠坂のだろ？今回は喧嘩両成敗って決めたじゃないか。
私と姉さんでも時々行き違いがありますから先輩もそれほど気に病まないでください
Miss Mato seems to be trying to mediate with an amicable speech. However, this girl is addressing Emiya again. I'm sure he's at his limit. To my side, an ominous feeling is swelling up.
あんたさ、見たらえらくお盛んじゃないか。何考えてんだよ。
三綴の弟でみのりだったよな。
It's literally, he's so jealous. He's like, bro, can't I get one girl? And Emiya's like, no, they're all mine.
俺の名前なんかどうでもいいっすよ。俺が聞いてんのは、その状況は何なのかってこと。
God, they hate each other. Mitsuzuri's brother seems to be extremely enraged. It's only natural. There is the circumstance of the three women that follow Emiya around. If I were a man, I would want to say something to ridicule him even without malice. If Makidera were here, I guess Emiya would be hugging the dirt with just one kick of hers. I will never understand how Emiya is so oblivious to this. It's maddening.
何なんだと聞かれてもな。はっきり言ってもらわないと困る。
呆れたね。言われなくちゃわからないんだ。おめでたいにも程がある。
みのりくん
The mood was turning gloomy because of Emiya and Mitsuzuri's brother. Miss Mato was shocked. Somehow, the anxiety also reached Miss Ryder. Miss Tosaka and Miss Saber don't grasp the situation we are in. That means...
やれやれ
Somehow or another, I'm the only one that can do something about this here. Is that it? Although I dislike being reckless, if I'm going to be, then I should go all out with somewhat extreme measures.
行こう三綴弟
I suddenly hugged his arm into my chest. Wow! Though I did not intend to press against him, it happens anyway. Judging from my figure, it cannot be helped physically. What she's saying is, she's secretly stacked. As expected, Mitsuzuri's brother with an earth-shattering force.
ヒムロ先輩、
だから行こう。今の君はかなりみっともないぞ。その悩みも向こうで聞いてやろう。今は我慢したまえ。
先輩、水釣くんって氷室先輩とあんな関係だったんですか？
You know, it's been so long, and I will never grow tired of this exact expression of Ryder. Miss Mato, his feelings for you are leaving a trauma in the heart of this boy that cannot be healed. Off to the side, Ryder bows her head to me modestly. She seems to understand my intent. Moreover, though I made Emiya's opponent disappear to somewhere else, is he grateful?
ヒムロ、もしかして気を使わせたか？
別に彼を捕まえるのは私の実益にかなう行為だ。それに遠坂城とはうまくいってるようだな、エミヤも。
うまくいってるわけないだろ。でもまあ周りに世話焼きが多いんでデコボコながらもやっていけてる。
Is he scolding Miss Mitsuzuri, Miss Saber, or myself? I'm not even a volunteer, just an observer with bad tastes.
さて、じゃあ私もちょっと世話焼きのところを見せますか。
というと？
氷室さん、私以上に綾子のことを知りたがってるみたいね。
Did she see through me? No, there was never a time when it could have found its way to her ears even once. Was Miss Tosaka also monitoring our behavior?
そんな顔しないでよ。さくらから綾子の交際のことを相談されてびっくりしたんだから。それでさくらに聞き返したら、あなたたちにそのことを尋ねられたって。
I can't believe it never ever even occurred to me that of course Sakura would talk to her sister about this. I see, so that's it. I did not predict that the story would be transmitted through the relationship of Miss Tosaka and Miss Mato. If that is the case, she would have known since yesterday. Miss Tosaka tells me with a smiling face and a fearless laugh.
綾子に4月の賭けのことを聞きなさい。そうすれば疑問も氷解するわよ。
The wager in April?
遠坂先輩、あれは内緒だって約束だろ。
This is important testimony. A bet in April connected with Tosaka, Emiya, the Mitsuzuri siblings. This is a big leap. I'm getting closer to the truth of Mitsuzuri case all in one stroke.
いいのか、そのようなことを私に漏らして。
でも綾子にしたって痛くない腹を探られたくはないと思うからね。あ、みのりくん、今度もまた面白いのを期待してるわよ。
After seeing Miss Tosaka now, I am dubious about the supposedly flawless honor student. Oh my, Miss Mato is smiling when Emiya makes a troubled sigh. Those around Emiya are also exceedingly suspicious. If I have just completed the first stage, should I continue and investigate? Still, I should focus on the issue of Mitsuzuri instead. Or should I focus on the issue of Mitsuzuri instead, which has finally entered its final last stage?
みのりも災難だったな、あれは。
What is this incident?
よく言うぜ。あんたにだけはそんなこと言われたくないね。
落ち着け、水釣弟。そこも含めてこの氷室カネが君の悩みを聞いてやろうではないか。じっくりと。
For now, the priority is to pull him away. By dragging him, even as far as the seaside park.
もういいでしょう。いい加減話してください、氷室先輩。
いや、それは聞けないな。いい加減悪い魔女に捕まったと諦めたまえ。差し当たり君の尊厳を重んじて手ごめにだけはしないでおこう。
げえ、その無茶苦茶な物言い。ほんと姉ちゃんみたいだな、あんた。
Miss Mitsuzuri, what on earth have you done to your brother? An older sister like Yukika being adored by her younger brothers is rare. How sad. Well then, first I have to silence his panic before taking him.
何考えてんだよ、バカ氷室先輩。
いいからおとなしくしたまえ。将来の予行演習だとでも思えばよかろう。
The autumn sun falls early, and the park is already dyed with the night's colors. Even to walk arm in arm with Mitsuzuri's brother on a night like this might be something. Well, I should calm down and talk to him around here. Oh, I was held back at the sound of my dear given name. At that soft voice, strength leaves my shoulders. Ah, Yukika, I was about to say sorry for keeping you waiting, but...
みつづりくんとカネちゃんが腕
ああ、これは拉致するための方便だ。体はない。
だったら話してください、氷室先輩。こんな扱い受けるくらいなら、おとなしくしてますから。
I release his arm, and he steps back, completely red in the face. Is the comfort of my chest that bad? It's somehow regrettable. I'm going to go to Fate Himuro Kane. I'm going to the Type Moon Wiki. She is... Her 3 sizes are 80... So she's 84. How big is Sakura for comparison? Sakura is... So she is one size smaller than Sakura. So she is... There we go. Just in case y'all were wondering, okay? Alright. And so she does have... Doesn't she have a... Himuro's Universe 7 Most Powerful Great Figures? Is that a spin-off? Fate School Life? Himuro's Universe, Fate School Life is a comedy 4-coma manga. Yeah, so she does have... They call it Sakura Route 1.5. Okay. Yeah. I only know about it from the Fate Grand Order crossover, but I guess it's a full, like, comic. I'm scrolling down the list and there are many servants, but they're all jokes, it looks like. Because one of them is just Sagat. Okay. Alright, well, good to know.
こんばんは、三枝先輩。
こんばんは、みつづりくん。カネちゃんと一緒って初めて見るよね。
Mitsuzuri's brother is greeted by Yukika. The eldest, as usual, with some exceptions, is polite. The education of her parents shines through. Then I apologize to Yukika again.
申し訳ないユキカ。同行する気にならなかった。
私こそ。遠坂さんにお茶をおごってもらっちゃったし、明日お昼の約束もできたし。それに遠坂さん、エミヤくんとも仲直りできたから、よかった。
Yukika smiles softly. Ah, it was worth coming here for this smile. Well then, this would mean that Makidera should be around here too.
マキはどうしている？
それがね、ちょっと来てカネちゃん。みつづりさんと一緒で大変なの。
話は終わりっすね。なら帰りますよ。
I had already foreseen that. I firmly caught his arm as he was getting away. Then I hold it in the original position. Like this, he cannot escape quickly.
まあ、みつづり弟。帰っても君の家には姉君がいるのだ。ならここであってもイサイは変わるまい。
あ、カネちゃん大胆。
わかりました。もういいですよ。けど、氷室先輩って、実はマト首相といい勝負。
いい勝負って何？
Yukika curiously tilts her head. Well, some things are better left unsaid.
バカ野郎！
Yep, that's her.
私たちは便利屋じゃない！
At the park bridge, there are 2 women bellowing towards the sea. One is the usual Makidera, the other is Miss Mitsuzuri. Their relationship was bound to be bad, and yet howling at the sea, they seem to be getting along. The beach's setting sun seems to suit them.
エミヤすげえ邪魔！
他人に心配させて勝手に仲直りするね！
Oh my god, they're literally just yelling at the sea because they hate Emiya.
遠坂を利用すんのは私だけだ！
心配して損したじゃないか！これだからバカップルは嫌いだ！
It's hard to call out to them when they are like this. I pull Yukika's sleeve, searching subtly for an explanation.
ずっとこうなのか。
喫茶店でしばらく二人とも黙りこくってたんだけど、突然ここまで来て。
Judging from their state, I can imagine the scene displayed by Emiya and Miss Tosaka. Fighting as they please, dragging in those around them as they please, reconciling as they please. If a person attempts to mediate in that situation, it would be enough to exasperate them. I suck at that word. Exasperate. I always say exasperate, which is not a good word. And I guess Makidera regrets not being able to kill two birds with one stone. I give my condolences. Makidera will also have her long-awaited favorable turn of fortune someday.
姉ちゃんさ、何やってんの？
みのり、あんたこんなところで何してんのよ。
そういう姉ちゃんだってさっきから親父やおふくろが見たら説教もんだよ。あんなみっともないの。
へえ、あんたも一人前の口を聞くようになったんだね。姉は嬉しいよ。
だから姉ちゃんは。
The brother-sister relationship between these two is quite amusing. It's not that I was absorbed in observing or anything, it's just that the Mitsuzuri siblings are gathered and the opportunity of a lifetime is in front of my eyes. Did even Makidera become aware of the existence of this? I turn around with an exhausted expression.
いや、ヒムロ、ずいぶんと遅いお越しじゃないか。全部終わっちまったよ。お楽しみにしていたのは。
いささか惜しい気がするが、何、まだ大元の問題が残っている。三綴り城のな。
At the mention of her name, I turn around to face both siblings.
氷室先輩が姉ちゃんが誰と付き合ってるか興味があるんだってさ。
は？なんで私のそんなとこに？もしかしてマキデラもなのか？
私もちょっと興味あります。ごめんなさい。
Yukika attempts an apology. There is no need to apologize. If she apologizes anyway, I'll commit seppuku and Makidera will handle my decapitation. But Makidera pays no attention to the mood and begins to speak.
なんか候補者が2点3点したぞ。
Oh no.
最初はシンジだろ。
Oh, she said it.
冗談きついね、あんたらも。私を笑い殺す気か？
Miss Mitsuzuri, stop putting a murderous intent into such a smile, seriously.
で、次が竜道くんで、その次がエミヤくん。
はあ？姉ちゃんそれはやめろよな。あいつは兄なんて呼ぶことになったら俺、家でするからな。
Mitsuzuri's brother is seriously displeased with candidate Emiya. Moreover, at the mention of the lineup of Shinji, Ryudo, and Emiya, her expression becomes uneasy. If these were my choices for a significant other as well, I would be, in all honesty, annoyed.
できるものならやってみるがいい、みのり。だが、エミヤって線もないぞ。うん。
その次がセーバー城であったな。今にしてみると木をてらった選択だな。
Where's this gonna go?
ああ、セーバーさんね。それなら結構いいかもな。
Oh, you're fine with that. Mitsuzuri laughed. I wonder if she's taking this seriously. I'm not sure about going as far as dating each other, but if it was just sharing an apartment together, I think Saber would gladly agree to it. And my thoughts strayed back to the main topic.
ここまで候補者の乱立に至ったが、誰も十分な確証がない。だが4月に君が見せた挙動の怪しさは、どうも恋愛関係との推測だ。さて、いかが推理をしたものかな。
With my arms folded, I contemplate from where to launch my offensive against Miss Mitsuzuri and the brother. These two possess the information to solve everything. Their numerous actions and behaviors should reveal it. And then there's Miss Tosaska's information. Tosaska? Bet in April? What did Mitsuzuri bet on? It was probably won by Miss Tosaka. Those present there were Miss Tosaka, Miss Mitsuzuri, Mitsuzuri's brother, and then Emiya. Furthermore, Miss Tosaka and Emiya have that relationship. If it's directly connected with the bet, or maybe. However, it is said that words that remain unsaid bring about disaster and shame.
4月って
まさかそれ。
いくら姉ちゃんでも忘れたって言ったら許さないからな。あれは。
なんかしたの？三辻弟が。いや、三辻、あんたがなんかさせたね。
Makidera's instinct and intuition are on full alert. That's right, Miss Mitsuzuri referred to something that gave her brother great shame.
何マキデラ、あんたもやけに絡むじゃない。
話をそらそうったってそうはいかないね。ヒムロ、なんか三辻が面白いことしたんだろ？
面白いというか賭けと言ってたな。遠坂城と三辻城、それが確信にあると見える。
Is it gonna be something stupid like whoever can eat the most pies or something? A bit more and the missing piece will be connected. The result arrived from losing the wager. Becoming irritated, Mitsuzuri's brother grumbles while kicking the pebbles under his feet.
だって、なんで姉ちゃんは俺が彼氏なんて。
What? What?
バカ、みのりあんた。
Huh?
三辻ってそんなアブノーマルな関係だったのか？
Makidera is stunned. That cannot be it. Impossible. If it really is the younger brother in this case, it's not a shame. It's a scandal.
なわけあるか。
よかった。今ちょっと心配しちゃった。
Yeah, me too.
彼氏と言ったな。あ、
Huh? Sonic ring noise. It connected. Mitsuzuri introduced her real brother to Tosaka and lied that he was her boyfriend. Why? As a result, she felt very embarrassed. In that case, the subject of the bet is obvious. It also naturally clears up the matter of Mitsuzuri's boyfriend. Oh. Oh, wait. Mitsuzuri introduced her real brother to Tosaka and lied that he was her boyfriend. As a result, she felt very embarrassed. In this case, oh. Oh, this is stupid.
遠坂城とかけていたのは交際相手を作ることだ。
Oh, this is so stupid.
それを父さん。
Oh, this is so stupid.
いや、賭けをしたとだけな。だが三辻弟の言動から推測するのは容易だ。
Oh my god, this is nowhere near as good. This payoff is not as good as I wanted it to be. Oh, that's embarrassing.
そこで負けまいと君は弟を連れて行った。おそらくはそのままの格好ではなく変装させて別人を装ったのだろう。
In that case, all of his actions make sense. However, to say nothing of being humiliated, such an imitation is like digging a huge grave large enough to bury the pyramids. Also convinced of this, Mitsuzuri's brother fumbles for the right words. This is not like Miss Mitsuzuri. It was a foolish move brought forth by her panic.
遠坂城も交際相手などいないという顔をしていたが、4月に至ってエミヤがその候補になった。故にいい文化と思った賭けにまさかの敗北の焦りが生まれた。私たちの知る彼女の行動はそれを誤解したようだ。
じゃあ三辻さんってその頃に付き合い始めたんじゃなくて。
土壇場で付き合う。いや、引っ張り出してごまかす相手を必死に探してたってことか。で、やおれ刀つき。
よくズバズバとわかりますね、先輩方。
Well, earlier, Mitsuzuri's brother was the first to fall. He met his sister's blaming gaze with a resentful look of his own.
遠坂先輩だけならともかく、あいつにも笑われたのは一生の不覚ですよ。
Aw, man. Your eternal rival laughs at you. That's the worst.
やあみのり、いい経験だっただろ。
ひどい姉だね、あんた。我が宿敵ながら手段をここまで選ばないやつだったとは。
三辻さん、そんなに負けたくなかったんだ。
You're kind of terrible. Makidera is at her wit's end. Is she that shocked by Mitsuzuri? The guts to not give up even when pressed to the edge is something to be admired, but the collateral damage is immense. Aha! I laugh and smile to deceive Mitsuzuri at the final stage.
従ってだ。三辻綾子女。君は今、誰とも。
そうだよ。誰とも私は付き合ってないってば。一体どこをどうして私が男と付き合ってるなんて話が出たんだか。
Notice she said dating a guy. You notice that? Mitsuzuri Ayako falls. Every riddle has been solved. Ah, the pleasures of a detective putting pieces together with reasoning is pleasant enough to make me tremble. Shivering from and immersed with the joy running down my spine, Miss Mitsuzuri's sulking voice seems far away.
ヒムロもなんでそんなこと知りたがるのかね。
さあ、どう答えたらいいものか。難しいものだ。
それに知りたかったら私に直接聞けばいいじゃないか。
Yeah, that would have solved everything.
でもやっぱり三辻さんに直接尋ねにくかったし、普通お付き合いって隠すかなとか。
4月の賭けなんて面白いネタが掘れたんだからな。いやー、三つ釣り、あんた遠坂にそんなバカやったんだ。すげえやべえ、みっともね
ー。Makidara howls out a laugh so loud that it is difficult to think of her as a girl. Even though she's my friend, she is still the worst.
いやー、偉いぞヒムロ、大金星だ。特別に座布団5枚。
She doesn't have so many cushions to sit on. Such lavish rewards. Her abusiveness is also in top condition. Makidara has in her grasp an astonishing weakness of a rival standing between her and Miss Tosaka. By simply hinting at it, there's no way Makidara can have the upper hand for the time being.
彼氏なし、いかずごけ。孫にも一緒、お兄も18番ちゃんも出ばな。
What are you singing?
後ろの方は分かって言ってないだろう、牧野氏。
言いたい放題言ってくれるな、牧寺。そういうあんただって彼氏なしじゃないか。それにだな、あの賭けも遠坂の勝ちだって認めてないからな。エミヤだぞ、エミヤ。まったくもう遠坂にひょいひょいついてきて。
Miss Mitsuzuri barks back bitterly. Certainly, because the relationship of Emiya and Miss Tosaka doesn't make a pretty picture. However, looking at the current Emiya as well, it is not clear just who exactly he is dating. For Miss Mitsuzuri to protest the bet had no victor has some truth.
でも、姉ちゃんの彼氏なしは変わらないからさ。
みのり、舐めた口聞くとマトにいろいろとみのりのことをお話ししちゃうぞ。
Tell him about the magazines under your bed. Tell her, rather.
そんなんだから男できねえんだよ、姉ちゃんは。
Boy who is troubled by love is still here as well. Including Emiya, there are still many people left on the stage for my activities.
ねえ、カネちゃん。
何かね、ユキカ。
カネちゃんってお付き合いの相手が欲しいって思ったことないのかなって。
Timidly, Yuka asks me. I see, so that's what is on her mind? After all, for the last few days it has been the only topic.
私はちょっと気になっただけで、私も彼氏さんとかいないから全然平気だから。
そうだよな。三辻や遠坂以上にヒムロって謎だからな。そこんとこどうなの？
That's right, that's...
言い名付けがどうにかなれば作ってもいいと思うのだがな。
Okay, well... In an instant, all sound vanishes from the park this night. For everyone except me, breathing and heartbeats came to a halt as they stared at me. Huh, was that so unexpected? Then a scream tears through the silence.
いい名付け？どういうことなの？カネちゃん。
顔も知らない許けだ。親の勝手な約束でな。私が生まれる前に決まっていたらしい。
Wow.
いとこかはとこか男か女かもよく知らないし、そのような王時代の代物を勝手に約定する親もどうかしていると思うのだが。
I wonder if there's any hint as to who it's gonna be.
すごいね、ヒムロ。知らなかった。
Of course, since I have not spoken to him even once up until now. Mitsuzuri's younger brother stood stock still with eyes narrowed to the size of dots, while Makidera, Yukika, and even Miss Mitsuzuri talked amongst each other with their foreheads gathered.
なんだよ。私なんか全然大したことない秘密があったんじゃないか。
じゃあ、もしかしてカネちゃんが恋愛に興味があるのって。
親に自由な交際を禁じられてるから恋に憧れてるのか。ヒムロが。
すごい。カネちゃん、そんなに大変なんだ。漫画みたい。
さすが大物の娘。政略結婚か。うわ、遠坂だってしないぞ、そんなこと。
はあ、ちょっと待ちなさい。今誰かどさくさに紛れてすごいこと言わなかった？
I hear you, I hear you. You want to whisper, do it more quietly. Makidera slowly slips away from them, then starts speaking to me.
なんだよ、ヒムロ。今まで秘密にしてただなんて。釣れないな、本当に。
だけどカネちゃんも複雑な家庭の事情があるから私たちに気を使わせないようにって。
でもね、ユキッチ、こういうことは親友に腹を割って話してくれてもいいじゃないか。
Is she gonna be like, I just did?
ヒムロもヒムロでそういうことを言ってくれれば私たちも本気で。
今の本気にしたのか。
Oh, were you making a joke? Again, the air freezes. Again, the four people in front of my eyes become stiff, as if frozen over and about to crumble in defeat. Oh, that was a joke!
嘘
I totally believed her too!
なんだって。ちょっと待て、ヒムロ。あんたどっちなんだ。
何？ことわざには世の中は嘘、欲、恋というではないか。
Wow.
だから
Wow, you got
今日
me.
は面白い。恋は意外の正なごととも言うからな。
Unless this is a triple switch, you know, one of those flippy flips.
ブッシュ、座布団全部持っていけ。
Before falling into panic, Makidera lets out an empty laugh. I show interest in the love affairs of people because there is this kind of joy. A person's love is born and concealed, and the entire story is interesting simply because I get to see the unexpected actions of human nature. And furthermore, particularly because of the pleasure of solving the mystery, nothing can stop me.
ヒムロがわからなくなってきた。
こいつ実は遠坂以上の難物だな。
カネちゃん、やっぱりミステリアスさんだよね。
Mysterious son.
俺もう帰っていいですか、ヒムロ先輩。
Mitsuzuri's brother muttered sheepishly. Sweet, he is far too sweet to be the younger brother of that Mitsuzuri. The sister cannot even compare. I pull his arm to my chest harder to keep him from escaping.
ダメだ。まだ君の問題は解決してない。それを聞くためにそもそもここに来たのだからな。
へえ、それなら身乗りなことはよろしく頼む。こいつウブで姉としてもいろいろ困っててね。考えが古いんだよ、男のくせに。
ほほほ、三つ釣りの弟か。どれどれ、私も一肌脱いであげましょう。
あ、これからもよろしくね、三つ釣りくん。
どうも三枝先輩って。姉ちゃん、俺を捨てるな。
Well, well, what will be the next stage? Again, there will be another opportunity sooner or later. That was the length of 2 full movies. That was the Infinity War. Wow, that was a lot. Jeez. Can we afford anything from looking at it? No. Because we have all the Emmas here, but these ones are really expensive. Probably because they're pornographic. I'm afraid to check the wallpapers, actually, because I have... Oh. Guda Guda. Guda Guda. Do I have them, like, all? Nope, still missing a couple, unless that is the actual end. Okay. That was long. That was nice. Again, a nice little look into stuff. You know, taking a look to see. Next time. That's me hitting my chair. Next time, we're going to look at the, as much as I can show, of the other eclipse scenes. Because it's actually just porn. Uh-oh. We're not going to see that. I'm going to read the stories before and maybe the snuggling after. I will be very embarrassed, though. Oh well. See you guys next time for some more Fate Hollow Ataraxia. Ciao.